Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
What's good, fam? What's going on, man? How y'all doing in the chat, man? What's good with it? Who that to the beautiful black and gold family members in the building. Getting ready for another installment of the Great Saint Think Tank, also known as the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, the host, if you don't know. And I'd like to welcome y'all into the Sports Coma, man, on another Saturday Saints Talk. We're coming at you a little late, but that was, well, actually, it's not late. This was planned because we didn't want to come too early around our standard time, which is right around about 5 o'clock. And of course, the Saints camp kicks off at 7 down in the dome, and then miss all that good coverage. So as they're practicing, you know, we'll be live streaming, and then when stuff gets available, we'll play it live here on the show today. So much love to the beautiful black and gold faithful chiming in of the live stream on this episode of the Sports Coma. Good to see the family members. Kieran the Great, good to see you in the chat, my friend. He says Big Q to my Big Q and to my Who Dat family was good. Hashtag rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, and rest in peace Cliff Robinson. Cliff Robinson was a bad boy. I heard about that one. We broke the news of Chadwick Boseman on last night's show, which is very sad, man. Very sad to see Chadwick Boseman, who's 43, same age as I am. And to see the brother, and he looked in terrific condition, but then again, you never know, do you? Don't you? Do you? You really don't. But he's transitioned to the to join the ancestors, man, and it's something else, man. Life is most certainly a gift, but that was a surprise. Who that to the black and gold? Good to see you, Drew. Goddamn Breeze. Who that to you as well in the chat? Tyra, good to see Tyra chilling. Good to see you, my baby. Hope everything going well for you out there, and everything is all good. Good to see you in the chat, my friend. Who that to you as well? DLP. Good to see DLP 2600 in the building as well. Tramal, what up to my boy Tramal Kellup in the building as well. He says we better get a ring this year. As well, John Thompson. What up, John? Good to see you, family. Big ups to you as well. And Jason King, who that for life to you too, Tyra. Good to see you, baby. Jason King, who that to you as well in this installment of the Sports Coma. So please hit the like button, family, as more and more family members chime in today's show. And like I said, this show was purposely designed to come at you tonight at this time slot because of the fact that the Saints are practicing at 7 p.m. in the Superdome, and they'll have some live stuff that'll be coming at you. So we pushed the time slot back so that we can be able to cover this news and notes of the Saints, you know, as it becomes available. So when it becomes available, then we'll also pop in and have all the information up there as well. So we'll let you know that as well. So thank you for joining us. Who that to the rest of the family members joining the live stream? Tyrone Jones, who that to you? William Dickerson, who that to you? Will, he says, Big Q, help me out. So instead of going to Clay Matthews, Saints bringing two guys, two DEs. Who are they? And that's the question, man. That's the thing, man. That a lot of us are asking the questions. So you ain't a regular one of them old regular Saints fans, are you? You one of them guys that like to use their brain, don't you? Well, welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank, baby. You know how we do here. We like analyzing stuff because it's fun. It's good. It's good to get the wheels turning and everything. You got to do it. You got to exercise. But that's a great question, William. Thank you. We're going to cover that today, and I'm going to read some statistics and stats to you and see who these guys are. You know, it can't be the fact that the Saints are doing that bad where they got a bargain shop, and listen, there's no disrespect to whoever these gentlemen is. We don't know you, A from Adams. We don't know. We sorry. But this is a Super Bowl of bust year. And in a Super Bowl and bust year environment, for those who don't know, I'm not talking to the Tyras. I'm not talking to the DLPs. I'm not talking to the Jasons, the Derricks, and Tramals, and all of the family members, the Larrys, and the Byrons of the world, Randys, and everybody else, and all of the regular standard Tyrones and the rest of the Great Saint Think Tank family members, the Scoobs and Dadas and everybody else, the ones they like to use that brain. We talking about the ones who don't know that this is a Super Bowl of the year, and in the Super Bowl of bust year, you're supposed to go all the way out and get people that are known to make things happen. That's when it comes down to. And we're talking about people, and let me just put this out there. People that known to get things happen, they got a name because people know who they are. And say, well, exampleize us, Q. Well, I'll give you plenty of examples. How about Clay Matthews? Clay Matthews is in his 30s, up in his near his mid 30s. And we don't need Clay Matthews to be a starter, merely a guy that comes in for situational duty. You need accentuation in a Super Bowl year. The Saints are a loaded team, yes, but they need accentuation. Accentuation is the thing that if you're already a beautiful person, you add a little this and there to accentuate that beauty. And that's what the Saints are. The Saints need that accentuation. And that accentuation in football nomenclature, when we're talking about players, is Clay Matthews. Less than $3 million, you can get him. He had 8 sacks last year in 12 games in a situational role for the Rams. 8 sacks. Davenport had 6. Just wrap your mind around that. How he was able to get 8 sacks in 12 games simply because of the fact that Clay Matthews knows how to rush the passer. That's a skill. And then you can get him for less than $3 million. You can plug him into the system. You can clear out one of these guys who haven't been doing anything or who's still a developing guy. You can still put him on the practice squad and protect him if you love him that much. But this is what it's about in the Super Bowl year. We must go all the way out. The mere fact that we need another defensive back, a veteran defensive back, not somebody not known to do anything. We don't know Coma Hall and the rest of these guys. No disrespect to Coma Hall and the rest of these guys that they added. Welcome to the Saints. But you have to understand the type of environment you're walking in. You're walking into an environment where a team that has been called upon to be a Super Bowl team the last 3 years and have had some of the most worst, ugly, terrible, ego, heartbreaking losses in the playoffs that you can ever possibly imagine. And then last year was the absolute worst out of all of them because the coach was totally motionless during the game. His team's falling apart. He's not checking them, not cussing at them. And yeah, and I'll say if you need to get them, you need to wake them up, go over there and cuss at them, fuss at them, throw some shit on the ground, do something. Get something to wake them out of the walking zombie-like ass state that they were in the Minnesota game. And then the thing is, you might, and listen, we talking from a family, they say fan, I say family perspective because we all love the same team. We all want them to prosper, and we all in that same mind. That's why I always use family over anything else. The familydom. The familydom wants championships here because they have been waiting for it since 2009. They've been waiting since 2009 for a championship down here. You know, the players on his team have to understand that. And if you don't understand that, you may sit up here and go around all these other players and sit up and pick their brains and understand the programming that they're saying. But if you want to know what it really is in the beat of the street, you better talk to me and other the great Saint Think Tank because we know what time it is. We know. We're not going to sit here and play games with you. We're going to tell you the truth. We're going to tell you whether or not what's going on in the paper. I have absolutely no agenda to see either one of these men fail. You know, if this guy is a real fan and he sit up here consistently day after day telling you, talking about success in Super Bowls for the city, the region, and the fans all across the sphere. So I have absolutely no agenda for any one of you players, but you players listening to this show, we know you do. And some of these coaches here. And understand that, listen, this is a pressurous situation. This is a pressurous situation because the city demands a Super Bowl. No more of this garbage, no more of this trash, no more of this foolishness. And I say all that to kind of capsulize what it means to mean we're in a Super Bowl of bust mentality. Super Bowl of bust mentality, meaning going out and getting the name players while you have the money. You have the money. You have the money. You can go get Clay Matthews. And even if you have $7 million on the cap and you feel like that's not enough, you can always phantom it out like Loomis is known to do. So that's a part of it. And that's what we want you to understand, if anything. We don't need nothing else from you except for you to understand that fact, that regardless of what you do, we're going to be here watching. And we're going to be here critiquing. And we're going to be here having some fun as well. So that's the bottom line. Accentuation is key here. The Saints need to accentuate the defensive end position and the cornerback position behind the top 3 cornerbacks and behind the top 2 defensive linemen. Davenport has missed 2 days of camp thus far. That's been held under the scene. Chiquillo who's a veteran of 4 or 5 years, have not played one snap in practice, but Nigel Bradham, who's a 9-year a linebacker with plenty of starter experience in the Super Bowl ring on a starting team just several years ago with the Eagles, is in the street. That makes no sense. But all these other guys are here. All of these people who we don't know, A from Adam. Now, will they seriously have an impact on this team's chances of making the Super Bowl? I dare say they probably won't. Odds are it's a low percentage that these guys that they're bringing in is going to have an impactful impact on the season moving ahead. There's a percentage that they are, but a large percentage they probably not. Clay Matthews would. How about Clay? And maybe another cornerback. I don't care, veteran cornerback. Somebody they know what they're doing. Somebody that can give this guy Robinson a run for his money. But the Saints are sitting there and they're comfortable at cornerback, and they're going to give you exactly what you had last year. No difference. Except for Malcolm Jenkins. That will be the only addition in the secondary that you will see as different. Now, of course, you have guys that will get a year more experienced into it in a condensed time frame. But nevertheless, the Saints are going to march out the same unit they had before, including the same reserves that continue to let us down. With the mindset that they've improved over the year, they very well could. But that is a lot to say based on all of the stuff that we've seen from those people over and over again. Is this Super Bowl above some bus moves that I ask you? Is this Super Bowl of bus moves? That's when it comes down to. So a lot of people are upset because they don't see the guys that they know that can get the production, the Clay Matthews or either the Talibs or the Tremaine Jones, the Johnsons, or any of the other cornerbacks that know how to play the position. You know, it's once been said that the Saints, I tell you what, the Saints know who they want, and they can go out and get anybody they want. I've seen them do it several times. But it's amazing. It's a bit of delusion going on here too. I want to say, but we can't be too long. My evidence hadn't arrived yet. When the evidence arrives later on behind this stuff, and we'll see what time it is, because the pressure's on, man. You come out here, you bet not. You got to come out here and blow out the gate, bottom line, because we ain't playing with you this year. We've seen enough from the losing, and the losing has to stop in the playoffs, bottom line. All right, let's keep going, family. I just had to define that Super Bowl of bust, because people say think Super Bowl of bust. You can sign unknown guys all you want. Don't get me wrong. But you only need 2 guys that will, in my opinion, help the team out, and both of them on the defensive side. A backup defensive back with a name like who I mentioned, and either or a Clay Matthews or something like that, because you missed out on Everson Griffin. A guy that would have told the lineup and helped Davenport move slowly back into the lineup, which I kept saying it. And Davenport missed 2 days of practice. We'll know today, later on in the show, whether or not he played today in the dome. That's a big thing. And I keep saying, if don't play around with guys that have injury histories and they're healthy, then they get in there and they battle, then they get hurt, then you pulling them out. And you could be setting them down because they got a bump here or there and you won't save them for the main action. But if you can't handle that action, that little action there, and you're getting hurt there, what kind of real action? Because when you get into the trenches with those big suckers in Tampa and the rest of these guys in the league, they ain't pity-patting with you. They ain't playing with you like your teammates are. So we're going to maintain and see, man, because I keep saying the same thing over and over again. And hopefully, I know they're listening, but we got some stubborn SOBs over there. I tell you. And listen, I'm just trying to save you from what you're going to get if you don't bring the Lombardi home this year. I'm just going to keep it honest with you. And I've been stirring the pot in a good way for the whole black and gold world that we want a championship and we ain't settled for nothing less. We've been supporting and giving hardcore support over these most terrible times. And we've been seeing a lot of foolishness happen, and it's not strictly because of the NFL's cheatery. It's because of the man at the top of the team, which is Payton, who continues to not operate in sound football principles in the playoffs. And you coming away turning the ball over several times, not one, but several times in the playoffs. If you turn the ball over more than twice in the playoffs, chances are you're going to lose the goddamn game. If you have several penalties in the game, you're not supposed to even have penalties in the playoffs. You're supposed to be playing, and the mindset going into the playoffs is supposed to be so pristine and so pure, so pure and pristine about the principles. You're supposed to be identifying and playing as close as you can to those principles. Nerves don't have nothing to do with it. because you're supposed to operate knowing that we can't make mistakes and we will not make mistakes in the playoffs. We're going to let your ass make the mistakes and we'll capitalize. We also going to run the ball and we're going to control the line of scrimmage on the defensive side and the offensive side. And we're going to run the ball down your damn neck. And then after we do that, we're going to throw it over the top of your head. That's the mentality you're supposed to have. Not going up in there thinking that you're going to wing it all over the place and then you get it handed to you by a team like the Vikings with a quarterback who's never known to win a big game, but he beat the Saints' ass, got embarrassed the next week against the 49ers that ran the right game plan, and guess what? They gave him an extension on top of his contract because of what he did to you. Come on. That guy never known to win no big games, and I'm talking about Kirk Cousins. But he beat you, though. But you got the St. Bernard coach with the big shaggy ass jaws running around shaking. He had his hand sticking out to Stephon Diggs, and he chopper styling in his face. That's disrespectful, man. That's the last vision I got of seeing. I say, look at this clown here, got his hand stuck out to Stephon Diggs, and he chopper styling in his face. And he seen him chopper styling up. He was doing it all up, and you gonna reach his hand. I'll turn around and walked away from that guy. Are you kidding me? You gonna reach out to his hand? What kind of fool is you? What kind of fool is you? Then and what really got me upset is the next week he got on the broadcast, and I was trying to find the tape. I can't find it. If y'all did send it to me, because I was trying to find the tape when he was on. He was being an analyst for the Vikings and the 49ers telecast the following week. He was trying to tell the 49ers how to beat the Vikings the next week. I had the footage. I must have misplaced it. I wanted to have that footage. If you guys got that footage of him as an analyst on the pregame show in the game with the pre, I just want the pre, I don't need the post. But if you have that footage, send it to me at the PROMediaNetwork@gmail.com. We'll get it and put it out there, because I remember that, and I don't know what happened to it, and I've been searching the web. They pulled it off, and I don't even see it up there. But if y'all know where it is, let me know, or send it to me, because I won't play it here on this show. And I'm going to play it here to let you know, just to prove my point, that he knew what he was supposed to do in the game, because he said everything that he was supposed to do, he told them to do it. I ain't playing with you. You think it's a game? I'm going to find it, though. I'm going to keep looking. Somebody going to send it to me. I'm going to find it some kind of way. Who that to the Black and Gold family members in the building. Good to see the family in the chat as well. Hit the like button, family, on this one. We're going to cover who these new players are. And like I said, we'll also, when the time comes and they have any stuff dropping from the New Orleans Saints, interview-wise, we'll make sure we cover it as well, family. So just to let you guys know that we'll be in the building doing the thing. So when the Saints pop up with a broadcast or an interview or whatever, we'll make sure we be in the building to cover it, and we'll cover it here live. We'll play it here live. All right, so let's keep it moving. I'm going to go down the chat, then we're going to get into the story about who these guys are, then I'm going to open up the phone line. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over the article, we're going to break it down, and then I'm going to open up the phone line so the family members can chime in on this edition of the Sports Coma. So once again, we're not late. We starting at around 7 o'clock, where we wanted to be, because of the practice starts at 7. The Saints practice in the Dome today. They'll have press conferences a little later on, and we'll open up the phone lines and we'll cover it, and we'll play a lot of this stuff live. So just thank you for joining us here, and thank you for spending your Saturday with the Sports Coma and Saturday Saint Talk. So much love to you and yours on this one. All right, let's keep it going here. Larry McGee, who that to you, Larry? Good to see you. Says McGee from McGee, Mississippi. Okay, all right, McGee, Mississippi. McGee, Mississippi. Wow. Okay, McGee. All right, McGee. Yeah, I know what McGee is. McGee is what is that? Where is McGee? McGee, Mississippi. I know what McGee is. That's not too far from what is that over there? Oh, I can't pull it out, the ethers, but I know what you're talking about, McGee. The railroad they got a railroad line run straight through McGee, Canadian National. What is that over there? Sarah something or other. Just, you know what I'm talking about, Larry. McGee, Mississippi. All right, man. McGee, thank you for joining us, my brother. Appreciate it. But I know what McGee at, man. What's that? Sarah? Something popping up there with an S. Got so much going on in my head, man. But something it's telling me something about Sarah. He gonna answer it for me. Watch. Sarah something or other. It's nearby McGee. Anyway, thank you, Larry, for joining us. Who that to you, my friend? William Dickerson says, yes, sir. Randy, what up, Randy? Randy Major, who that to you? Thank you too, Will. Donovan Grayson says research both of them and still didn't learn much. He got a lot of nothing. Oh, who that to you? GM Kev in the building. What's up, GM Kev? Good to see you, fam. Byron as well. GM Kev, so why the Saints didn't sign Paul Richardson? He healthy and fast, but again, we get great value players. Yeah, Paul Richardson he does have speed. He's about 6'1". He's fast too. He's pretty fast. And the reason being that they probably didn't pick him up is because they feel comfortable with Benny Fowler. I think Fowler is a dude that the Saints are big on. I think they're good with what they got as far as the wide receivers go. But having a guy like Richardson here wouldn't have really hurt nothing, and I'm pretty sure he would have came cheap. So I understand where you're coming from. Plus, I think Richardson kick return, punt returns too. But he's a guy. He got really good speed too. All right, but good comment on that, GM Kev. Let's keep it moving, man. Who else we got? What Kev says, Kev, you're supposed to be on airline. That's what Tramal tells him. All right, Kieran the Great says, I heard the Saints sign another pass rusher from the Chargers. Can't remember his name. You heard anything on that? I'm gonna cover it today, my friend. Will says Saints playing the old school checkers game when you lost the pieces and have to substitute with something you find around the house. Oh man, you kind of rigging stuff, aren't you? That's kind of, you can't find the thing. You're supposed to cut that out and sort it correctly instead of that. Man, give me that little electrical tape. Wrap that around there. That's good enough. Go on up in there and plug it up. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. These are not Super Bowl moves to me, man. I'm gonna keep it honest with you, man. But we'll break it down. Kevin says, why not go ahead and trade for Yannick? Super Bowl or bust Drew Brees last year. Cash all the chips and let's play poker instead of bluffing. That's a great point. Of course, you got Ngakoue. Who you talking about? Ngakoue is a guy that's would be a terrible force for the Saints there. But of course, you're looking at the fact that the Saints have Davenport there. And then oftentimes you hear people say, well, we don't want to do that, Q, because it won't stunt Davenport's development. Well, listen, my thing is, I think Davenport's development, he's going to develop just fine. But I think the issue with him is him being there. And I think, the same approach they take it for Sheldon Rankins, where they want to incrementally place him in there. I don't think you should do that. I think, if you got a player that is shown in a history of injuries, I don't think, you should be doing that. I'm just keeping it real with you. I don't think you're supposed to be doing it. I don't think you should do that. That's how I look at it. I think some of the stuff that we've seen from Davenport in terms of his injury history has been quite problematic in my opinion. He hadn't been able to stay healthy for the last couple of years, and I'm not saying he can't do that this year, but when you got a guy that's a high pick like that, who's consistently showing injury problems or missing, stuff like that, you want to take it slow. I'm not saying take it pelican slow like they was bubble wrapping Zion Williamson last year, when you had a 2 or 3 or several month layoff between when the season stopped because of the C-19 stuff and when it picked up again. That kid should have been totally healthy between that time frame. But then you come back in and still staggering his minutes. What the hell is that about? It's sometimes these are athletes, they're not crystalline figurines that you want to put on the thing and they fall over, they break. You got to be careful with them. No, this is not what this is. But Davenport has shown the effort. I don't want to go that far to the spectrum where you got to bubble wrap him and all that, but there's a happy medium. I think you need, until he comes back and you work him in there slowly, you want to be able to put somebody in there you can use that can share the reputations with Davenport, so you can still get him to expand throughout the season where you don't wear him out and you work him in there incrementally. I see absolutely no problem with having a veteran defensive end or a person in there like a Clay Matthews, because that's all you can reach for at this point. Maybe you can go, another route. There's Jabal Sheard and a few other guys, Ziggy Ansah, who you can look at that can play that role, who will come cheap. But, I'm even going past the Jadeveon Clowney, because I think that ship done been passed on the Saints. They're not even looking in that direction. But to keep going this cheap man route of all these guys we don't know, that's not the mentality of a team, that want to get over the next step. You cannot be that irrational and that blind to the fact that the guys that you have behind the guys that are hurt are repetitively hurt. You know, you can't say, okay, well, this year they're going to make it. No, you still have to be able to go out and get players that are better. Clay Matthews is better than any player that's behind Davenport or Cam Jordan. I don't care who they are. You could throw Granderson or Hunt or whoever you want to throw up there. That dude has a better track record of knowing how to do, even at 34 years old. He still knows how to get to the passer. You don't want to have him a large role, but a disruptive role that accentuates what Davenport is the perfect move. Plus, you got Cam Jordan coming off surgery, groin surgery. He's 30 years old. I mean, how long you expect him to play on that high level and this guy on the other side keep falling off the boat? Come on, man. Keep saying you can't be that delusional, but perhaps you are. And boy, I'm telling you, God help you if you are. Because you never seen Raph that you gonna, like, it's gonna all come down. Like you've been making it for over 10 years with that. One Super Bowl ring gets you a 10-year layoff period down here, and that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame that we think like that down here. And I've been doing my best to beat the hell out of that frame of thinking and knock it the hell out of here. That losing ass stuff about, oh, well, Sean Payton got us a Super Bowl ring so he can sit up here forever and fail. I mean, it's just absolute. You got some brain dead ass Saints fans out there. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I don't care who it is. You got Peterson, who won a Super Bowl several seasons ago, and Philly on his back right now. They still on his back. You know why? Because if you representing a championship city and a championship reason and a championship fan base, they're going to demand championships all the time. And then they talk about, oh, we spoiled to the winning. Are you serious? Are you some kind of fool? You're not spoiled to nothing. You were supposed to win. That's what you're supposed to do, fool. And then you go back here and look at the New England Patriots. The Patriots won 6 Super Bowls. I don't care if they had the NFL help or not. They won 6 Super Bowls, and you talking about we spoiled with 1. Get out of here, man. What kind of foolish stuff is this? I'm taking all that thinking to hell, man. I'm busting it up and beating the hell out of that type of thinking. I'm sick of that nonsense. Living up off that foolishness. That was 2009. That's over 10 years ago, an idiot. That stuff been gone, man. Well, we got to let them make it for another 10 years. Another 10 years? For real? See, that's how, and that kind of people, you need this. Listen, I'm bringing all of the Saints fans with some sense ahead here. We all going ahead. And all them people back there with that losing ass talk, you holding the team, you holding the collective unit of us back because your failures to see what success really is just really just condemning of who you are as a being. Because nobody's supposed to think like that. Nobody's supposed to have a 10-year layoff period of 1 Super Bowl. He was been supposed to have his feet to the fire. Just like every other coach that's going out there in the league right now. And I'm not talking nothing. I'm talking straight facts. You can go up there and look what they're doing with Philadelphia. Look, they do it the same thing with their coaches. Look what the coaches did. That coach, Brett Brown, he was a coach up there for, what was it, 7 or 8 years or something like that, maybe 10 years, something like that. They fired him and he won 43 games for him last year. You ain't even get that. You got like 30 game winner. They would if Gentry had won 43 games, they would have gave him a 3-year extension. Hell, they gave him a 2-year extension on the back of a losing ass season. Who does that but a bunch of losers? Who does? I'm not gonna pay you to lose. And if you losing, I'm gonna get your ass up out of here. You know, I don't want to hear all of that other stuff. Gentry got a 2-year extension. I'm saying it basketball talk because the same people that run the basketball team, the same owner that owns the Saints was the one that says, I like Gentry, give him the money, gave him 2 years, and he stunk it up. Then you play for him 1 year, he can't even get you to the playoffs, and he had one player that didn't do a lot of time that was down and out, and that was Zion Williamson. He had the whole other team, and he couldn't even win 7 games to get in the playoffs. And then at the end of it, he sit up there saying, I don't know why they fired me. Really, bro? And you know what? It ain't on him, it's on us, because we should have never let that go. We should have been hitting them, and I was doing my best to hit them. I was hitting them. You can go listen to the Pelican post-game reports. I was taking them apart consistently, blowing them apart, talking about what kind of foolishness is it, what kind of dumbass schemes you run in here. You know, what kind of weak leadership this is. I mean, you got, and that's the mentality as a city and a region and a people that you got to have. You have to demand excellence from these people. Nothing, and you won't demand nothing less than that excellence, because order to sit before you and represent you and to get your support and to get your time, it is an honor. And that is how you're supposed to look at it. So if you're going to represent me and you're going to put those colors on, you're going to represent me right. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't work for the Saints organization. I have no ties to them except for some of the personnel that listen to the show and the people that listen to the show. And that's about as good as I need. You don't need to send me no tickets. And I got people there that was trying to give me some tickets. But now I ain't trying to have that type of relationship. I like where I'm at because I'll tell you one thing. That's how I can be cut from you and still be able to critique you. The moment you try to give me something, you'll be like, well, I'm going to give you this, but you can't say what you got to say. No. Keep your shit. Because the bottom line, all I want you to do is win and do it the right way and represent us the right way. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And about all that other bull, you know what? And then you talking mad to the butcher and the guy, because the guy asks you, why would you do that? Why you do that? Well, you need to worry about that. Nah, you look here. Then I got on them for that, but you got stupid ass Saints fans out there that was making excuses for Sean Payton when he was talking mess to the butcher and when he was talking mess to the valet. Well, he should never ask Sean Payton no question. John, what he doing asking? He ain't the coach. What kind of idiots say some stuff like that? What kind of moron say some kind of stuff but a loser? That's a loser say dumb stuff like that. That should be no time ever that the coach is permissible to talk to a fan or a family member who support the team and get their money to and their time to him for him to be talking like that to any one of these people out here. I got on them for it and I rolled on them for it and I'm still riding on them to this day because you're getting too comfortable. You didn't have a job before we gave you a job down here. You ain't have a job, and I don't care if the Raiders was calling or not. The Raiders was calling a lot of people. You didn't have a job and you got your first opportunity with the city of New Orleans. You ain't do us no favors. We demand what we supposed to have, and I ain't tolerating no more losing. I'm going to tell you that off top. And I'm going to turn my rod, and I'm going to ride on them like old Tupac used to say back in the day, rest in peace. And I'm going, you think I'm riding now. You wait till they don't make it happen this year. They better get that Super Bowl. I'm not playing no games with you. I'm sick of that madness. And all these other old weaklings they bringing, all these old canned good people, these great value people out here. How you playing with great value players and you got Clay Matthews sitting there and you can get him for less than $3 million, but you don't know? Oh, I didn't realize he was sitting out there, Q. Shut up, fool. You know he's sitting out there. And you got the money, but you're going to try to go get these great canned good value people? And you know Davenport. See, and this is the thing. I'm not saying nothing that is not true that you cannot verify. This is not opinionation. What I'm speaking to you is historical fact that you can go look up on the record. That the guy has a repetitive and consistent injury history. We're talking about Davenport, and we're talking about production issues and low defensive back play from P.J. Williams and Patrick Robinson. So if there's an injury behind the standard three guys, those are the guys that you're going to be seeing on your team. You happy with that? And then the question of how you have Nigel Bradham, who represents the Super Bowl and in the prime of his career, basically compared to DeMario Davis in terms of intelligence and intensity, but you put him in the street because he wants more playing time. But Shaquille is still on the team, never seen one practice, but he's still on the team. And then you put him on the streets as opposed to say, look, coach, listen, let's get it. I want to see what the young guys could do. Oh, yeah, that's what you do in the Super Bowl or bust year? You won't see what the young guys do? No, the young guys will develop on their own. They'll develop on their own. The only other guys, you need veterans on the team to get you over the hump. And you know that because that's why Emmanuel Sanders is here and that's why Malcolm Jenkins is here. Because he understands you need veterans to do that. But if you got Alex Anzalone, Trey Hendrickson, and Davenport, all those guys is hurt all the time. They hurt every year. Oh, but nah, you wrong. They gonna make it this year, bro. Watch. Well, I mean, that's a big bet in the Super Bowl year, don't you think? Just like Jim Kev said, if this was a game of poker, you trying to win the whole pot, you putting all your chips in there. Is this all the chips? Huh? No, you breaking off half the chips. I ain't gonna bet my whole hand yet, man. I'm gonna just throw this. Ain't no pushing nothing to no. Oh, let me keep it going. Let me get on through here, man. Let me get on through here before I get going here, man. I mean, nothing less than the Super Bowl will appease me, man. After 3 years of ridiculousness, and the team have all the talent that it's needed. Now you got the most talented representative of it. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear no damn injuries. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear it this year because you had plenty of opportunity and guys like myself sitting up here telling you, and you know what that team looked like. We look at that team all the time. We know what time it is, and we know every player on that team and what they're capable of, especially in the reserves. And I challenge any one of them to come up here and tell me that I'm wrong in my thinking, and I eat their ass up on here. I'm telling you what time it is. Don't tell me I know this stuff. I know it because I researched this stuff. I've been at this stuff for 30-something odd years, been covering it for over 5 years. So I know what time it is with this team. I know. Trust me, I do. All right, let's keep it going here, fam. Let's keep it rolling here. I'm sorry I got in a little tizzy. Who that to you, Spaghetti Pete? Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. I'm getting it going early because ain't nothing less than the Super Bowl will appease me. I'm sorry, family. Nothing less than a Super Bowl will appease me in this city, in this region as a fan of this team. Nothing less than a Super Bowl after 3 years of screwy garbage. Any of the worst ways that you can possibly fathom of losing, we have done it. There is no more of that. And most of it was because, and the majority of it is because of the head coach. Because of the head coach is too goddamn stubborn to do what most coaches know that you have to do to win games. So if you can't do it, you are going to feel the wrath of the fan base. I can tell you no more than that. And them garbage ass reporters, they won't be able to block from what's coming here. They won't be able to block you or worry about you. We're going to force y'all to ask the correct questions. We're going to force y'all to understand the wrath of what's going on, and you think you're going to create a little artificial environment where the realism of what we talking can't penetrate. There's no way wherever you going that we can't get to you at. There's no way our fluence will be able to reach you no matter what place you go to. You better believe that. You think that you can go do whatever the hell you want with no consequences? I tell you what, you absolutely and astronomically wrong. We will make sure you understand how we feel, and you will make sure that that you understand that the heat is on your ass this year to get a Super Bowl, because this is your best chance to get it. If Breeze is leaving next year, it's no way you're supposed to be playing with guys who you don't know who the hell they are. Well, you got to go dig for pictures and shit. You get on a news report and you see news clippings, they sign this person, and then the news of people that clowning or covering the people got a picture of a helmet up there, a Saints helmet. Where the player at? He got a general ass picture of a Saints helmet on the field with the players way off in the distance by the practice facility. They don't even show you the pictures. They don't even know who these people are. Come on, man. And then you're going to have people out there that's going to say, well, Q, he know what he doing. Man, shut up, man, with that. Dude, you've been saying that shit for the last 3 years. Oh, he know what he doing. And then what it do? What it turn out? He don't know what he doing. He's screwing it up because he big-headed, and it's because of people like you that's sitting up here letting them make it, giving them 10 years to win a goddamn Super Bowl, living off of one Super Bowl for 10 years. It's people like you with that type of thinking. So when you see people like that, tell them shut their asses up because they don't know what they're talking about. They're the ones that's responsible for Sean Payton talking reckless to the butcher and the meat man and protecting them. I mean, that's absolutely insane, man. All right, let's keep it going, man. I'm sorry. I apologize to the family members out here, but I'm getting on Sean Payton and his damn supporters. I'm not a Sean Payton fan. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. And that's the bottom line. Sean Payton could quit tomorrow and go take on the job for the Falcons or some goddamn body. But I'll never take these colors off. I'll bleed black and gold. It don't matter who it is. Any one of these players can lead this team and go play for our rivals tomorrow. Come on. You're supposed to be a fan of the team and not the fan of that dude, that coach, or that player over there. Come on, man. I'm keeping it real. All right, let's keep it going here, man. And that's the problem, man. They're getting that stuff misconstrued. You ain't supposed to be protecting nobody doing no wrong, fool. That puts you in the wrong. You don't protect nobody doing no wrong, man. Come on, man. Oh, he know what he doing, and then the last 3 years, he falling all through the goddamn foe. And they blaming everybody but the coach. They pointing at the referees, pointing at the team, the other team, everybody but the coach. Everybody but the coach. Oh, that wasn't his fault. That was because of the referees. But they don't ignore the fact that the players was dropping touchdowns, committing penalties, wasn't dominating on short yardage when they 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, letting the rivals team defensive line push them off the line so they don't convert on 3rd and 1. They forget all that and then flash to the play about whatever the referee did to obstruct the game. But never mind the blown coverages. Never mind all of the fussing on the sideline. Never mind the fumbles. Never mind the blown assignments on the offensive line and the defensive line, the poor routes the wide receivers was running, the poor angles that the defensive backs and linebackers were taking. Never mind the fact that they were missing tackles on the field. Never mind all of that. They just automatically blame somebody else because they said they're Payton supporters, and you're not supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to be so blind in your goddamn thinking where you can't criticize or critique somebody no matter if you like them or not. If they are in the wrong, they are in the wrong. And that's how it's supposed to be. Anyway, let me go through this chat, man. Let me tear this down. Man, I'm at war with that type of thinking. I'm sorry. I got my arm, and I'm running with it. I got my hatchet, my sword, my shield. I'm going to war with that, man. I declare war on that type of foolishness, man. You ain't gonna protect Sean Payton this year, I promise you. You won't protect him this year. You are the reporters, and I'm talking about them people out there that believe Sean Payton don't make no mistakes, that everything he do is right and exact. For you, I'm at war with you, and I'm running through you and them damn reporters. You won't protect them this year, I promise you that. That living off that Super Bowl stuff for over 10 years, that stops this year, Playboy. That stops this year, and there's a lot of people that feel like I do, just to let you know. And you're going to see a surge this year if you don't handle business. I'm telling you. Unlike you've ever seen before, you will see it this year. The heat and the pressure is on. It might not be on in the building because they're too comfortable with the success that we've granted them. They've become like petulant children. They become all relaxed and comfortable to the success that we granted them. But that success will end if you do not represent us right. And that's how you got to talk to deal with this madness to make change happen. And they're going to run up in there, oh, man, these people mean business. You heard what that dude said? That dude said, man, that this, that, and third. Oh, don't worry about it. All right, yeah, dismiss us and watch where it gets you. Watch where it gets you. Remember where your support base is, man. Remember where your support base is. It's us, the diehards, man. But we ain't stupid-ass diehards that believe everything you say. We're going to listen to you, but we're going to critique every word you say to make sure you own code. Not own code with your code, but we own code with the code. And the code is the winning code that all universal winners follow. No matter what sports you play, there's a universal code that winners follow to win. We will make sure that you're on code. Trust me, we will be there. I will be here. I will be here. All right, let me get on through this. If they don't win this year, says Kevin, all the Sean Payton supporters don't come off this channel because we'll look. See that Kevin already on them. JT said, hey, I said the other day the Saints is going to war with 3-player changes. The center, number 2. He says the center, number 2 wide receiver and guard position. Thank you, JT. Who that to you? Good to see you there as well, family. Good to see you. All right, let me keep it going on down here. Tyra said, I'm sick of Peyton and his fiance. Tyra getting on. Tremal says, Bill Belichick wouldn't have keep played by Diggs. Like, yeah, that was a chump move, and that was embarrassing, man. Listen, let me add this to it. I represent the Saints, man, just like you do. But there have a lot of people that come this way, that be in the chat, that be in the comments, that's not Saints fans. When the Saints fail or lose, I get it like I am getting paid by the team. I get Minnesota Vikings people come on here and send comments about how the team won. You know, I get other team or other people that come on here. So if the Saints lose to the Falcons, I hear from the Falcons people 3 to 4 times more than the average person do. And I'm like, man, I ain't even getting a check from them goddamn people. But I get roasted from Falcon people and whoever we lose to. And the playoffs, especially the Minnesota Vikings fan. I keep telling y'all that. I hear it. And I'm sick of hearing it because you can't tell those people nothing. You can't tell them to shut up and all that kind of stuff when they're talking about the facts. You can't tell them, shut up, Vikings fan, when they know, just like you know, that the team is that they are winning, that they're beating the Saints, and the Saints are a joke. And they know, and the Vikings people are like, oh, the Saints are a joke. Because the Saints were a joke for the last 3 years. What good is these double-digit winning seasons? I covered that the last show. What good is you winning 12 and 13 games a year if you can't put hardware in it? I don't care about no NFC South crowns. Winning it 3 years in a row, you can win the son bitch 10 times in a row. If you're not bringing the hardware in, it don't mean a thing. It is all for naught. We will not remember that bull crap when it's said and done. We need the championship to accentuate what those season accomplishments are. Even though Drew Brees taking those individual records down, he'll be remember that for those pressing records. But a lot of people, the truth is, a lot of people don't put Drew up in the echelon of quarterbacks because anybody can get one Super Bowl. That's how they feel. Anybody can get it. Like, man, that's no, it ain't. Well, how do you explain Trent Dilfer? Trent Dilfer got a Super Bowl ring. How do you explain a guy like Joe Flacco? And he said, well, the defense, it don't matter. The bottom line is a quarterback like a Flacco or a Trent Dilfer, these guys have won Super Bowls. But you really reach to the next level when you win multiple Super Bowls. That's what it's about. It's about winning multiple Super Bowls for the region. And we should have at least 2 from the last 3 years, and meaning 3 altogether, including the one from '09. That's what we getting off center. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us are getting off focus because they're getting used to winning in the regular season. Winning the regular season is fine, but it don't mean a damn thing unless you got a Super Bowl there. Because we play for Super Bowls down here. We don't play for no goddamn NFC South crowns. I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, thank you, Kevin. He says, let's Sean don't win the Super Bowl this year and watch how we unleash our channel plan. I mean, come on, Payton supporters, beware. For real, man. This is real talk here. We not gonna kiss your tail or your rump. Ain't no need for me to kiss your ass. And I'm talking to all of them out there. Ain't no need for us. We don't play that because we was here before you got here, baby. Now understand that. Understand what I'm saying. We were here before you got here. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? We were here before you got here. Do you understand what I'm saying? And why we don't feel we need to kiss your ass. We don't need to kiss your ass. We was here before you got here. And before you got here, thank you, Tramal became a member of the channel. Thank you, Tramal, for that. Much love, man. I'm sorry I'm going off, family. But I'm keeping it real tonight because that's all I know how to do. I ain't going to buttercoat it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I ain't going to do none of that. I'm going to keep it real and tell y'all the undisputed truth of what's going on, man. For real. I don't want to hear it no more. And all this other, you got $70 million, you got $8 million on your cap. You need to be going out there to get playmakers that accentuate this team, especially at the pass rush position. You can't play with the pass rush. Even if you say, okay, we ain't going to get with the defensive backs, then go get another pass rush. And I'm talking about a guy that knows what he's doing. Not some of these other guys. I don't even know who they are. All right, let's keep on going here, man. Let's keep it moving, man. Seriously. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. He says, piggybacking off of Q, I heard a guy prediction today. He said he would go 124 and get bounced in the division game, or he says our conference game. See, he says 12-4. Okay, thank you, Dad. See, piggybacking off of you, Q. I heard a guy prediction today. He said we would go 2-4, 12-4, and get bounced in the division game or the conference game. See that? See that? You see that? You think I'm making it up? You think I'm making it up? The cold part about it is like, it's serious to us. It's serious to us, not so much where it dominates our lives because we usually use it as entertainment, but it's like with anything. If you want to represent us, you're going to do it the right way. You're going to do it the right way or I'm pulling support from you. You won't go and do it your way and totally ignore what the fan base is feeling about it and do it your way and expect me to support you. It don't work like that. And for people that have been doing it for that long, shame on you. Because it's never supposed to work this way. And I'm going to tell you this and then I'm going to get back to the chat. The way I feel about it, it's not like a regular fan would. Because I think about it in a way where I'm looking about all the support that we've given you for years. Even when you were losing, we gave you support. Even when you were picking the wrong coaches like Ditka and Haslett, we gave you support. Even when you was picking the wrong quarterbacks like Brooks, when you should have put Dale Home in there, we forgave you and put up with the losing. Even before Katrina came in, when you was giving the fans nothing but losing and you demanded for them to build a brand new stadium for your losing ass team to play out of, we forgave you and eventually used our money to refit the dome and not get a penny out of it. Usually when you take somebody's money, you are supposed to give them interest on the money that you take. But all they do is take, and they give nothing back. It wasn't their money that built the arenas that team is playing and they're practicing right now. It is not their money that's paying a light bill that they're using in that arena right now. It's not their money that they're using to pay the water bill in that goddamn building right now, or the one next to it where they play basketball out of. That's your money. That's your money. They give you not one penny of that. You think I'm going to tolerate, and with all that being known by myself, you think I'm going to sit quiet here like one of these Saints, Sean Payton supporters, not knowing that bit of it? Because I'm pretty sure they don't even know that. If they know that, then that would force their anger up to a level where they would be where I'm at and would not tolerate losing when I'm giving you everything that you need. Thank you, Verlin, for that, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Verlin. We give you everything. We pay for the goddamn buildings you practicing in. That whole facility down there, ex Uncle Paulie, before we built that brand new facility on Airline, they was playing out a trailer. They was playing out of trailers, man, down there on the land, man. Until we spent $100 million to build that facility down there for them to sit there with it and put the name, the Oshner building, and take the sponsor rights from Oshner paying for a building that they didn't even use their money on. Come on, man. We ain't no chump. See, that's what I'm saying. Is you can only be a chump, a sucker, and a moron for so long before you demand. If I put that much support in you, I obviously think that you should at least have a high enough respect for yourself, at least for the fan base, and go out there and do the best you can to make sure you win these games in the correct fashion. That's all I'm saying. And that's why my upsetness comes from and my aggression comes from. Me knowing all of that. The fact that you don't pay no taxes. And we let you make it. You don't look that up, why don't you? I know about all of it. I know about it all. You think I don't know what you got in them sealed documents? I already know. I know about it all. But I also understand why I'm telling you about winning and winning and winning. We demand and deserve a winner. And for any clown out there that think this is feasible to have 3 straight losing ass seasons with double-digit wins and no championships, you are a moron and you are a major part of the problem of why the team don't have a Super Bowl, because you need to be in line with people like me who are willing to put these guys' feet to the fire even when we paying them well. That dude went after he lost the Minnesota Vikings game, took a job on the network to go and be an analyst for the Vikings and 49ers game the next week after losing that game. And telling them, the Vikings, or the Niners, on how to beat the Vikings the following week. Find me that tape. I've been looking for it. I can't find it. But I'm going to find it and play it on the show just to show you he knew what he was supposed to do. Because he's told them to do it. And I was so upset about that his stinking ass was sitting up there trying to break that game down the next week after falling out of the playoffs, which let me know that for you to do that, you really, because truth be told, if you was really a coach that was about yours, you would have turned that down and been like, man, I got to go somewhere and figure this out. There's no way that you should have been on a plane to go up there to talk about somebody else winning the playoff game. There's absolutely no way after you fell out of the playoffs with a 13-3 mark. Come on. And it ain't like we pay this dude chicken feed. This dude making big money down here. Let me keep on going here, man. But them clowns are making excuses. Well, Coach Payton could go and talk about the game, even though we lost it the next week. That week, he can go make him some money. All right. Okay. Thank you, Crass. Appreciate it. Said no one remembers second place, Super Bowl or bust. Thank you, Crass. Thank you for your super chat. Thank all the family members for y'all super chat. Y'all deal with just. I apologize, man, but my upsetness is up at a peak this year because I'm not playing with you. You gonna do what you supposed to do, or we gonna handle your ass. We gonna make sure that you feel the heat. You're not gonna live comfortably down here and keep losing and misrepresenting us. Ain't no way in the world we gonna let that go. Not playing with you no more. And all the this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third. No, it's on Sean Payton. It's all on Sean Payton. And that showed me last year when he did that Viking stuff, when he went to that next week to that conference game and went and did that stuff and played and went and being an analyst on that 49ers Vikings game, that showed me he didn't give a rat's ass about the fan base. He didn't care about us to go take that job, to go tell the Vikings how the 49ers how to beat the Vikings that next year being an analyst. He should have took his ass somewhere and been figuring out how he let his 13-3 team lose to the Minnesota Vikings in the Superdome. You cannot make excuses for that no more. Anyway, let me keep this going, man. Let me keep going here. Tyra says, sound the alarm. Do something, you know? Kevin says, why not bring Tremaine Johnson any better than the cornerbacks? Jason says, I'm in Gulfport. It's not far from me. Thank you, Jason. Okay. Kieran says, Tremaine will be a dope pickup, possibly for Morris Claiborne. Another good move. I'm going to break these guys down. Devin, who that to you? Good to see you, my friend, from chiming in from ATL. Space Ghost says, perspective, I like that Jaguars D. He would be a beast. I agree with you, bro. Only thing is take is a draft pick and maybe a player here or there that won't impact what you got going on. They're not motivated to do it. You know, so we'll see. 504 Hot Boy. What up, fam? Good to see you. Say who that family, we getting a ring this year. That's right. And we got to put y'all join with me on that perspective, on that mentality. Join with me on that mentality and that upsetness. Bring that here. Bring it in with your and do not be docile. Do not be docile and dysfunctional. We demand that this team represent us in the correct way. The reason why they are failing is because we are not keeping them on code. We're not keeping these guys on code. We can't let them make it like that. 3 years, I'm done with you. That 13-3 nonsense don't mean nothing. You are failing the city. You're failing the Saints fans. And when you took off to go and be an analyst in that playoff game with the Vikings and the 49ers, that was disrespectful, man. That was disrespectful. And I was the only person calling that chump out on that. How dare you do that? After your team fell out of the playoffs on 13-3, you get your stinking ass on the plane and go up there and be the analyst for the Vikings and the 49ers game, and you lost it the week before. That was disrespectful. Man, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you. I'm telling you, I'm gonna ratchet this thing up, man. I ain't playing with you. All right, the young Bloods 46. Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. All right, Q. He said, keep up the good work with all that going on late, and it's great to have a place to talk Saints football with actual Saints fans in peace. Yeah, it is absolutely remarkable. If you go into some of these Saints groups, these people don't know nothing about no football. They just listen, the difference between a real Saints fan and a bandwagon fan is that the bandwagon fan will not critique anything that the team is doing. They will not critique it. They will simply say the coach knows what he's doing and I'm riding with my coach. And then you ask them what the hell is the coach doing? They can't tell you a damn thing. So if you start critiquing their losses, they say they challenge your fandom. They say, well, you must not be a Saints fan talking like that. Then they say shit like that because that is the defense mechanism for you prying a little close to find out they don't know nothing about the team. They don't know schematics. They don't know philosophy. Hell, they don't know nothing. They on the bandwagon with the team because they're winning right now. That's what it is. So don't fall for that nonsense when you start prying into them and they say, well, you must not be. No, you ain't a Saints fan because only a dumbass fan like that will say something about that when I'm questioning you about schematics and philosophy. It's amazing. That's why it's called the Great Saint Think Tank, because those type of people will not make it here. You can't make it, you can't protect them, and you won't make it with me. The bottom line, I'm going to be hitting you 8 ways from Tuesday from all angles, baby, because that's how we playing with it. We ain't tolerating it. You go take your dysfunctional ass over there and sit down there and give what he want without demands. What kind of place would this be? If you got people representing them, you ain't demand. That's wrong with the country now. We letting these people run the country like they want as opposed to what you want it to be. And it's your money. Same deal. That's why we're going to blow the rotten politician. No, you can't blame the politician, fam. You blame yourself. That politician would never be able to make it with all that stealing if you wasn't down there looking in them books, making sure you checking them out, becoming a watchdog group to go and investigate what these people doing. And then when they do something, you go down there to them people and say, look what this dog doing, stealing all this. Let them get investigated and run them up out of here. That's all on us. We supposed to be watching these people like a hawk, not giving them hundreds of thousands of dollars and letting them tell them what they're going to do. That's a recipe for corruption and dysfunction. And they thinking they got an endless lifeline to peel off money from you anytime, and they can get you losing all over the place and justify that. And then the media that's getting paid from the same organizations will form a barrier around them and try to protect them from your onslaughts, by answering paper, toilet, tissue ass questions. It won't happen here, fam. We changing the narrative. This new media, the old media, is up out of here. I'm telling y'all. Y'all done had an opportunity and y'all went stale and you sold your souls to them people and you wasn't supposed to do that. You were supposed to represent the people. But since you couldn't represent the people had to come. And that's why we here and we ain't tolerating you no more. So you and these dumbass Saints fans, y'all can all take a slow boat to somewhere and get the hell out of our face because we want a championship. No more of this 13-3 garbage and out the door. Thank you, Donovan. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let me keep on going here. I'm gonna come up off it, family. But I'm upset. I'm upset about it because you won't represent this team and continue to lose and get on the plane after you're lost in the play. I gotta keep saying that because that's insane. That's insane. That's insane. And y'all know it's insane for any coach who's supposed to be a real coach, who's supposed to be dealing with real problems, will then get on a plane to go and be an analyst the next playoff week against a team he just lost to and go and tell the 49ers on television that is an absolute joke and that's disrespectful. That is a joke. He should have been in the building figuring out how they lost that game, figuring out what is wrong with the team. You tell me if I'm wrong for thinking that way or saying that. If he's serious about his job, he should have been in that building. He shouldn't have been on the television doing that analytical work. We paying him a lot of money to be the Saints team. He don't need to be a part-time analyst. He needs to make sure he get this team to the Super Bowl. And that's what kind of bullshit that we've been putting up with, that we've been letting them make it with, and enough is enough. Your time is over with. You gonna handle business or we gonna run you up out of here and get somebody that will. Bottom line, we not selling for one more Super Bowl no more, dog. You done had it. You done worked all. We done gave you a 10-year cushion. You done had 10 years cushion, man. And you still couldn't reproduce a Super Bowl again in 3 years, and you had a fantastic team over the last 3 years. Enough. Enough is enough. I had enough of you. You gonna win or you gonna get out of here. Bottom line, you can walk hands with Elvin Gentry and take both of y'all tired asses up out of here. Enough is enough. I'm serious, family. Enough is enough. I had enough. All right. DLP aspect, when the other teams start cutting veterans, the Saints will make a move. Well, we'll see, bro. We'll see. They got plenty of veterans out here, though, DLP. Ain't no need for them to make cuts if they don't see, and most of the guys that's out here right now are better than the ones that they're proportioning to make cuts. I mean, some of these guys ain't making really any money out here. You go and get a Griffin for $6 million, and Griffin better than any defensive end they're gonna put on the street. You know what I'm saying? $6 million get you a top notch. That is a steal, man. And then your rival gets him, and your rival will meet you, and it's just you're just dumb for that one. They're just dumb for that. All right, let's keep going, bro. Thank you for your comment. Tramal say I have to stay woke, my brother. I'm surprised Scoob not in here. Hot boy 504 Hot boy said Davenport will break out this year and show that he's worth the draft picks they used to get him. We'll see, bro. He hurt right now, 504 boy. Did you know that? He missed practice twice right now. It might be 3 days in a row, my brother. So that's what I'm saying. I like the man, but bro, the man need insurance. You need somebody behind him, so you don't put him in there. You need to work him in there slowly because of that. You just can't throw him in there like they planning on doing, and he gets hurt. If that's not on Davenport, that's on the team, because the team should know to work him in slowly and not just throw him in there. The kid been hurt since they drafted him, man. He been hurt when they drafted him. He had surgery on his hand a few days after they drafted him, so they drafted him hurt. The boy been hurt, man. He been hurt, and the thing is, he'll break out eventually, but you gotta help him. You gotta be able to help that man, bro, by giving him some support. And the guys behind him, those guys, I don't know, bro. I'm serious, man. Not for Super Bowl or bust. You know what I mean? That's what we got to get. Super Bowl or bust is the thing that we need to pay attention to here. Byron says Clowney's still a guy, but don't know. I don't think Clowney or Logan Ryan are going to be any guys, bro. Claiborne, Mo Claiborne, and Zeke Ansah, those are really nice picks. I just don't know about the Saints, bro. Michael Randall, who that to you, Michael? Good to see you as well. Devin said we wasted 3 years, and he said we wasted 3 years. Really, 10 years since you got a Super Bowl. Actually, 11 years since you got a Super Bowl. Over 10 years since the Saints won a Super Bowl. And the last 3 years, they were picked by the haters to be a Super Bowl representative, and they fell through the floor each year. And then we'll make up excuses. Well, we got this, all this. Nah, that's on Payton, bro. Every last one of them. Because the team is supposed to be ready to play, and they're not supposed to be dropping touchdown passes. They're not supposed to be blowing blocks. They're not supposed to be missing tackles. They're not supposed to be having imposing self-inflicted penalties on themselves in playoff games. They're supposed to be prepared. They're not supposed to be fussing at each other on the sideline or taking poorish angles or miscommunicating in playoff games. Playoff games now. You're supposed to be on your square, on your game 100% in the playoffs. And they continue to falter. They continue to fall. You know, that's on coach. That's on the coach. Not having the team prepared correctly. That's nobody else but the coach. Thank you, bro. All right, Tramal says, preach, Q. Bubba down south, tell him, Q, we tried. We want to win championships now. We tired of that, man. Look at the family. Family said, we tired of all that, man. We sick of you losing. We tired, not just me up here ranting and raving. It's the whole fan base. They sick of the losing, man. We sick of it. Sick of all of the excuses. I'm sick of the excuses. I'm sick of the damn losing. I am. I'm keeping it real. And I know y'all are. You can't tell me that you're not. They got people, well, listen, Q, I ain't sick of the losing. We win at 13-3. Man, get out of here, man. I ain't got no reply to somebody. Man, you don't know what you talking about. You a fool. You don't know. Well, Q, we win at 13-3. I'm happy with that. Yeah, you a fool. I ain't got nothing to tell you, man. I'm going to just skip right over the top of your dumb ass. All right, let's keep it going here. Tori, good to see you in the building. Tori, who that to you? Tro Blew It. Good to see you. Adrian, much love to you. Who that to you? Lionel, excuse me. Lionel Jones, who that to you? He said you hitting the mark, Q. Thank you, my brother. Good to see you in the chat. Jasper Baldwin as well. Hot Boy 504, Hot 504 Hot Boy. Sorry about that. He says great can good value people. Q, big Q, wilding out tonight. Bro, listen, bro, I'm just keeping it real. So I'm gonna go down to chat, family. I'm gonna come back to the chat eventually. I just want to give a shout out to all the family members in the stream, so I can get into our stories. I ain't want to go to that long diatribe, but you know, I'm hot. I'm just keeping it real, fam. I'm just keeping it real. Tro Blew It, who that to you as well. Good to see your family in this piece. And let's keep it going. Brian, good to hear you. Brian in the building as well. He says, preach it, Q. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate y'all support, man. Because I feel, man, I just feel like I'm being the mouth for the people. And I know y'all feel upset like I am. Pay attention, 26, who that to you as well. Much love to your family. Good to see you in the chat as well. Appreciate the super chats from GM Kev and the rest of the family members. Dada, the family with the super chats. Thank y'all. Tramal, appreciate you going to the superstar status. Thank you for that as well. Verlin, who that to you, Verlin, says, welcome, Big Q, to the Dat Slap the hell out of your coach club. We've been waiting on company. We here, we built to repeat 2010 and fell apart. I've been waiting to get Sean. He is too damn goofy. Thank you, Verlin. Appreciate that in your super chat as well. Crass, thank you, my friend, as well for your super chat. Ahmad, good to see you. Who that to you? Ahmad Hardhead, good to see you. Tuck Graph, I see you in there. He said, I missed what I started this rant, but I love it. Thank you. It was what started the rant is the fact that the Saints won one Super Bowl and since 2009. The fact that we have been at the level, Super Bowl level, for the last 3 years, and we've had 3 really ridiculous and disgusting playoff losses, in the worst way, and that's what started it. The fact that we had injuries that happened to the team later in the year, the same way they're happening now. The same people on the team that we counting on to step up that failed us last year, we're counting on them without any insurance. That's what started this rant, my friend. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you supporting this one. 504 Hot Boy says, we can't expect others to believe in us till we go out there and get it done. I believe, though. There you go. You got to. Curlin says, real talk, Q. Thank you. Inevitable expertise. Who that to you? Trail Hatch is in the building. Who that to you, Trail? Michael Sachs Jr., good to see you, family. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know they're practicing right now, bro. That's why I had the show pushed back as well, you know, to be able to do with that. So we should be getting live interviews in a little bit. And whatever come up live, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play everything live on the show. All the live interviews, we're going to play it here. And we're going to cover it here. And I'm going to play some of the highlights of whatever happened. All right. Rush Hour, who that to you as well. A big ups to you. Let's keep it going there. Thank you, Donovan, for your super chat as well, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. As we move on in the chat. So I'm make sure I ain't miss anybody here. Before I jump into the question. Let's see where we got there. Bennett Babin. Thank you, Bennett. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you here. In the chat, he said, Payton been giving some great teams over the years and Zip since 2010. Thank you, bro. See, I'm glad to see the family members. This great Saint think tank, man. They're using this and they know, and they're using this, but they're using these too. To understand what's going on out there. And the fact that, well, we got a Super Bowl, we didn't have that for Sean Payton, the one you had over 10 years ago. And stop arguing with them people, bro, that think like that. You know what I'm saying? Just leave them alone. Leave them alone in their foolish ways, bro. Don't tell them nothing. They're just fools, just chumps. All right, let's keep it going. Kelvin Washington from Phoenix, Arizona. Who that to you, Kev? Good to see you, fam. Uncle Paul is in the building. Good to see you. Ahmad as well. Big ups to the family members. Ramsey, good. I see you, Ramsey. He said, what up, Q? I'm tired of hearing them say we're going to get that next year. If we don't do it now, Sean has to go. Listen, Drew leaves after this year, so he says so he can go talk on television. If that's the case, there's going to be some droppage that occurs because of it. There is no, that's why I'm saying that whatever this next year stuff, that don't apply at all. You have to get it done. And like GM Kev said, you got to push all of your chips to the center of the table to play for the pot now. Ain't no time for all this foolishness and this dumbness. You got to go and get players like those guys that are known to make it done. You got to go and get them. Bottom line. So without further ado, family, we're going to move on. And we're going to go right here. And I'm going to show you guys on this installment of this show who we got coming up here. And the Saints made some moves. And this is coming from NewOrleansSaints.com website, by the way. That the Saints picked upon 3 guys. 3 men they signed. They waived 2 and they got 3. These are some of the pictures of some of these guys here. And we're going to run them down, man, because I don't know any of these guys, man. I'm sorry, I don't know you guys. New Orleans Saints have signed defensive end T.J. Carter, Anthony Lanier II, and linebacker Wynton McManus. They waived injured defensive tackle Jalen Dalton and waived tackle Darren Paulo on injury reserve. It was announced by Mickey Loomis today. Now Carter, which is this guy right here, wearing number 90 from Kentucky, is a 6'4", 289-pound end that was originally signed as a free agent following the 2020 NFL draft out of Kentucky. During his college career in Lexington, he totaled 71 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 5 passes defensed, and 10 quarterback hurries in 50 games and 28 starts. The Mapleton, Georgia native was a part of the senior class that advanced to the 4 consecutive bowl games and won 32 contests, the most wins during a 4-year span by Kentucky since 49 and 52. Carter played 13 games. He had 12 starts as a senior in 2019 and had a career-high 26 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. So he played in 13 games. He started 12 of 13 as a season, and he had 26 tackles in 12 starts, 6 tackles for loss, and only 2 sacks. And, you know, if it's stats or anything, you got to pay attention to the statistics because they give you a brief idea of what kind of player it is. And I look at these statistics, and I'm not impressed by that. I'm sorry. You was a senior, and you played in 12 games, and the best you can give in 12 games for Kentucky was 26 tackles and 2 sacks and 12 starts. Okay, let's keep it moving, man. You know, let's keep it moving. All right, the next dude on the docket is this guy, 6'6", 285-pound defensive lineman who comes to New Orleans after spending the 2020 season with the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's this man in the middle here. That's who this dude is, number 90. His name is Lanier. What's his name? Anthony Lanier. And he comes to New Orleans after spending the 2020 offseason with the Chiefs and was on the practice squad with the Chargers. Lanier was originally signed following the 2016 NFL draft by the Washington out of Alabama A&M. The Savannah, Georgia native played 15 games with 2 starts for Washington in 2016-17 and the Chargers in 2018, posting career totals of 26 tackles. What's up with this 26 stuff? 13 of them solo. He had 5 sacks, 5 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 6 pass defense. He had 1 forced fumble and 1 recovery. In the last full season in 2017, Lanier played in 11 games with 2 starts for Washington and posted 26 tackles, 13 solo, 5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble, and a recovery, recording 5 takedowns over a 2-game span of time. Lanier, 6'6", 285, never heard of the man. I'm just going to keep it real with you. And then the other guy is this fella here with the 49ers jersey on. His name is McManus. Wynton McManus. McManus is 6'1", 225 pounds. He joins New Orleans after spending the last 3 seasons with Calgary Stampeders of the CFL, where he recorded 104 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 41 special teams stops in 2019. The Memphis, Tennessee native posted a career high 86 stops, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and in 2018 he posted a career high 25 special team tackles. He was originally signed as an undrafted free agent by San Francisco out of Memphis and appeared in 2 contests for the 49ers as a rookie. Those are impressive numbers. Those are a little bit more impressive than his 2 prior guys, just to keep it honest with you. But these are the men the Saints have signed today. So they signed these guys right here. You know, they announced the signing of T.J. Carter. That's the brother in the Kentucky jersey to the left. The middle guy is Anthony Lanier II. And then, of course, to the far right is Wynton McManus, who comes by way of the CFL to the team. You know, he could be a special teams guy. He sounds interesting. Of course, they waived Jalen Dalton, who was the defensive tackle that tore, I think he tore his ACL. And then they also released Darren Paulo, who was one of the undrafted offensive line, and the Saints had. They put him on the street as well, so to make room for these men. That brings the overall team's charts back up, the depth chart up to 80. So that goes to show you, family. Here go your new Saints players, and we welcome you guys on the team. It's just we want everybody to understand this is not a snipe against these young players. What it is the fact that we got a team, a fan base that want to see some big moves, and you got a lot of guys out there that could really help the team right now, as opposed in a basketball mentality of somebody that's just like, well, you know, we're going to help out on special teams. I mean, but let me ask the Great Saint Think Tank. Do you guys feel excited about any of these moves? Let me ask you. Maybe it's just me. How do you feel? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. When I'm gauging from the chat, I'm not seeing too much excitement. You guys don't seem like you're pretty excited about this. Let me know how y'all feel about it. All right? Let me hear it. Kevin says, man, I swear, he says, where do Payton find these guys on the box? He said on the back of grits boxes. Oh, man. Byron says, TJ Carter, Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z. You got to try to plug them to somebody, right? Crash says, Randy Major, there is some interest from the Bills and Ravens on Ziggy. Saints bought him in last year, but apparently lost interest this year. He would be good insurance if you ask me. That's a great, yeah, he would be. Ziggy Ansah was partially hurt last year, and that's what kicked him off. But you could really go back to him right now because he would be a good piece on this team. You know, to play in a relative world, a role would be nice. You know, so it's just what it is, man. You know, it's crazy. Crash said, I'm tired of shopping at the Dollar Tree, though. Bro, he went all the way to the CFL to get that man, bro. He went to the CFL to find that man, bro. He purposely looked past, forget Clay Matthews. And you, now listen, the guys that the Saints got, those are all 3 defensive players. Notice that. They got rid of an offensive lineman to bring 3 defensive guys on this team. Notice that. But none of these men will challenge Marcus Hunt, Trey Hendrickson, or Craig Granderson. Carl Granderson for their jobs. None of these men are a threat to Granderson, Hendrickson, or Hunt for their position. None of them are. They're simply depth purposes, and they're not going to challenge or push none of these men. That's the issue I have. Now, you got one of those guys, could be a guy that could replace Chiquillo, because Chiquillo, obviously, something wrong with Chiquillo, man. Something wrong with Chiquillo. They're not talking about it, but really soon they're going to have to. And he could be that guy here for Chiquillo. You never know. But you have 3 defensive players. You got 3 of them, 3 defensive players there. But you don't look at Clay Matthews. How do you go to the free agency and come back with guys that nobody know? Not even the newspaper people knew who these guys were. The newspaper people didn't even know who the hell these guys were. They put up a general picture. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Crash says no excitement whatsoever. Because there's nothing to get excited about. These guys will not impact the team in a way that we need accentuation. These are not accentuation players. Now the last guy could come in for special teams because Chiquillo might be hurt. And they might need that. But the other defensive linemen, bro, in the next 7-8 days, you and I both know they're going to be on the street. Me and you both know that. They're going to be on the street. The cold part about it is if you get a veteran in here like Clay Matthews and bring them in here, or Ziggy Ansah, or even Jabal Sherd and bring them in here right now, you can get them acclimated to the defense, to the defensive scheme somewhat before the season starts. Yep. Yeah, I remember Adam Big Hill, Crash. Yeah, he was a big player for CFL. I didn't want him to get cut. They cut him that year. I really like Big Hill. These guys are not going to challenge those men for their positions. That's my take on it. None of the family members are bucked about it. Because in a Super Bowl or bust mentality, you're supposed to bring in players like Clay Matthews and some of these guys that let us know that you mean business. Because you got your rivals doing exactly what we say, what you're supposed to do if you're trying to get somewhere. They're doing that, you know? They're doing that. I mean, all right, let's keep it rolling, family. I'm going to open up the phone lines, family. Well, actually, right when I said that, we're going to go to Sean Payton, man. We're going to go to Coach Sean Payton and hear what he had to say. We got some stuff we got tuned up. And Sean Payton is live talking about it. So we're going to turn it on live, family, so you can hear what Coach Payton says. So just give me just a second. We'll have that old ball coach here, see what he's talking about. Here we go.
We probably got through about 8 different roles. We implemented the kicking game. Was to get a scrimmage in. We were able to do that. I thought we got a lot of work done. We probably got through about 8 different roles. We implemented the kicking game throughout. I thought we handled the heat pretty well. And there'll be a lot of film for us to watch now and get on with our players. Overall, it's not until you watch the tape. There were some good things, some things obviously that we'll need to be better at. But I thought it was good work this morning.
Hold on, family. That's right. That we're gonna that's the one. That's his old one right now. Right now they're not available. Right now I just got the update. So that update saying that he'll be jumping on here real soon. So let's see. They said he'll be jumping up at about 15 minutes from now, 8:30. So like I said, we'll be playing those interviews momentarily. So it's just hang in there. That was a older one right there. So we'll come back to it. But let me engage the chat, family, and after the interviews, I'll open up the live lines for it, because it really makes sense to open up the lines right now anyway. With about 14 to 15 minutes or so, Coach Payton will be stepping to the podium, and they'll have several other interviews from coaching and staffs as well. So we'll go right through it. I'm going to continue to keep on engaging the chat and breaking down the chat and see what the family members had to think about some of this. So like I said, in about 15 minutes, he'll be at the podium and we'll have it for you here live. So y'all just be patient with us, and it'll be coming soon. All right, let's keep doing it here. Paul says, sounds like roster fodder to me. We had enough of Gil Finnerty's and Cam Meredith on this team under Sean Payton. Byron says that they are he says they are decent special teamers, not cool of damn BS. I'm disappointed. All right, Tramal says Sean P be finding scraps. Atara says Dollar Tree is boom. She just got to know when the shipping comes from in with the greatest. All right. JT says, I'm going to send home health care to you. Let them take your pressure so they can hear you. All right. Now you got to get that stuff out, JT. You know how it go, brother. You can't let it all sit in there. That's when your pressure go up high. It's when you get that out that you feel better, you know. And and that's what this is. This is a decompressed situation. All right, Crash. Anybody? Okay, I answered that one about that one. All right, Dada says he says what I want. They will not sign Clowney and a veteran. No, they definitely won't sign Clowney. I just think that won't happen. I mean, the obvious to find these guys that, I mean, just no discussion of them in any major notable players that people would briefly know. I mean, none of these guys you could have a thought to say, yeah, I know that guy. No, you don't remember none of these guys. Don't even know none of these guys. You know, and that's sometimes that's unusual. But that's the last several guys that they sign is the same way. The Come On Hall dude, you don't know him. I just called their names and still don't, you know who the hell these guys are. You know, so the last 4 or 5 guys they brought on the team was the same way. I mean, they was trying out guys that nobody knew who the hell they were. And these wasn't like, there were guys like Shy Tuttle that used to be top-notch players, and then all of a sudden, you know, had an injury and now they're healthy and they won't play. No, I don't know none of these guys. You look at their career statistics, the only one that stand out is the guy from the CFL. You know, the other guy who was at Kentucky, he had 12 starts with 2 sacks. I mean, how you get excited about that? You know, I can't get excited about 2 sacks and 12 starts, fam. That's impossible. All right, let's keep going. Paul says, yeah, they just depth fillers on the defensive line. No impact whatsoever, Q, shaking my head. I know, bro. Crass, no offense to Dollar Store, but come on, Saints. At least take me to Walmart sometimes. Better stuff. Good one, Crash. Rush Hour says, maybe some changes. I don't think he made many good changes because we still have a guy who can't tackle and another who can't turn his head around. Damn. You know, you got a safety that can't tackle. That's a great point, Rush Hour. You have a safety that can't tackle. And you have a cornerback who won't turn his head around to locate the ball. That to me that's just says it all. All right, let's keep going. Ramsey said, I don't like any of these moves. He says, are any of these guys playing hide and go seek? All right. Dada says, hell no. Kieran the Great says, we're not getting Clowney. I gave up on him. He's looking for the big payday, not championships. Obviously, you would think even if they were looking for a payday, you give Clowney some money. At least that know the Saints are serious. It's not like they didn't dole out big money for people that ain't do crap before. Remember what happened with Feeney when the Saints signed the tight end Feeney? Remember that? Remember what happened with that? I mean, Colby Fleener. Remember what happened with Colby Fleener? They gave him big money and got diddly squat. So it ain't like they don't reach out and give players money that don't deserve it. And they kept Colby Fleener on his team. You know? Let's keep it going here. Let's see. What was I at? Kevin says a lot of spare tires. Payton have all the flats. All right. All right. Tor said, that's what I'm talking about, Byron. Abraham. What up, Abraham? Good to see you, bro. He said, where the good players at? Abraham said, where the good players at? I don't know, Abe. I can't tell you nothing about these, my brother. I can read that report to you 7 times and still can't tell you. Byron says they are special teamers. I gotta agree with you. Tyra says dollar. Okay, I already read that one. Thank you for that one. All right, let's keep going down here. I think it might have jumped on me there. Paul says, yeah, I read that one. Let's see here. All right, Ramsey, I don't like any of these moves. Kieran says, we're not getting Clowney. He gave up. Yep, I read that one. Oh, yeah, Crash says, I think Chiquillo may have some legal issues that may keep him off the practice field. Don't believe he's injured or hurt. That's interesting. All right, Dada says, why cut Bradham and sign a new linebacker? You had Bradham with experience. Makes no sense to me at all, and I've been challenging that. Jamie, who that to you? Jamie Dog says, sound like good, got some guys that play for us some chance, okay? Crash says, cut Nigel was a head scratcher. Maybe they bring him back. Well, you can only hope they fix it, whatever they did. Paul says, hey, Q, and Sean Payton is looking to next year's mentality. He'll be betting on that 2-year window before he out the door. He'll quit in the next 3 years. Well, the pressure of the fan base, man, it's going to start. Listen, in the back end of his career, he's already developing below the scenes. Sean Payton is developing. And I've been saying this, for a while. That Sean Payton under the scenes is developing a reputation as a coach who can't get it done. He can't get you to the big dance. He can get you up to the mark, but he can't get you over. And that's something right there that a lot of people have been saying about Sean Payton as of recent. So, you know, like I said, he's developing that reputation as somebody who can't win. And if he loses this year, every year for the next 3 years left on his contract will be unbearable for him. He think he got it hard from the butcher. I'm telling you, it's like if he loses next year, it's like a dam is gonna. I hate to use this analogy, but it'll be like a dam breaking, and all of the pent up force of the fan base or the family base that was just being held back because they were being good and letting them make it off that Super Bowl, it's all gonna deteriorate. And that rush that wall of angst is coming to him, and it's going to inundate it. It's going to inundate him. I'm just keeping it real with you, because a lot of people keeping it back and they still making it, but I don't know how long anybody's supposed to make it off of one championship. That's not how it's supposed to go. But the fact that this city was so used to losing and losing and losing and losing and losing that they're willing to keep that guy because he brought them some air success, and that's not how it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to go that way. And I'm just keeping it real with you. We as a fan base, we can't sit up there and let him make it no more. And if he loses this year, and I hope he don't, but if he does, man, you're going to have some hell on his hands. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. That's all. People going to be all over him. And you're going to be like, it's almost going to be like it's a trillion Qs out there. Just all of a sudden, it's going to become a billion Qs out there, lambasting the hell out of them, and it's going to be unbearable. Watch. I'm telling you. Watch. You're going to see. You're going to see. It's going to be like everybody turning the BQ. Watch. You're going to see. You know? And I'm telling you, it's almost like that's happening right now, because very few have that kind of passion to do that. And then most of the people going to turn, because you ain't no longer going to be a docile person dealing with the Saints. You're going to have to reach the emotional intensity of the people you're talking to or you dealing with. You can't be like, you know, that intensity ratcheted up and it's going to lift you up. And then all of a sudden, it's like everybody going to become BQ. Watch. You're going to see. You're going to see. I'm telling you, it's being held back so far, but let them know win this year and watch what happens. I'm telling you, I'm keeping it real. All right. Kevin says, Donovan, you don't have to go to CFL to get camp bodies. Thank you, bro. Good GM Kev on it. All right, Uncle Paul says Clay Matthews would likely go to a contender and have a decent year. Iceman said that's damn crazy. Man went all the way to the CFL to find a player. I can't make this shit up. All right, big 504 Hot Boy says Clowney has the same injury issues that Davenport has. John Thompson says, no it factor with those moves. Thank you, John. Iceman says, what are y'all talking about? John, 504 Hot Boy giving a shout out. Tyrone says, Payton is getting all of these camp bodies that will not help the team. Now, I agree with you, bro. Tyra says, Tori says, talking about those Walmart brand players Payton bringing in. Rush Hour says, it's time to start looking for a new coach. Ryan says, Super Bowl or bust this season. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan P. in the building. Ryan says, look, man, Super Bowl or bust, man. That's all we care about, you know. Well, the thing is, if it's Super Bowl or bust, are these Super Bowl or bust moves? I keeps on saying that. And I want all the family members to do two things. Number one, hit the like button. And number two, answer this damn question. And I'm talking to those commenting, and I'm talking to those just listening. I want those that's just listening to answer in the chat as well. I want to know the answer to this question. All right? And I'm talking to all the family members. I want y'all to tell me, you know, like I said, number one, hit the like button. Do that first before you hit the chat. And number two, tell me, are these Super Bowl or bust moves? Yes or no? Are these moves Super Bowl or bust moves? Is any of these moves going to get us to the Super Bowl? Because remember, you got a talented team. But the second thing is, if something happens to some of these guys, are you good with the guys that's behind them? Like if Davenport, and I'm focusing that on the defense because the pass rush is super important. I got to keep going back to the pass rush. The pass rush is super important for the team. I'm keeping it real, fam. It's super important. All right, it's super important. So the thing comes down to this: without a pass rush, you're gonna get your breakfast ate, and I put that in a very good term. You're gonna get your breakfast ate, and without a pass rush, you can't sit up there and let somebody just sit there and throw the ball at you. Thank you, Tori. Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you for the super chat, Tori. Thank you, all of the family members, for y'all super chats, man. Thank y'all so much. Y'all been amazing. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Thank you. And that's something I've been saying, is that without a pass rush, and the reason why I keep saying that, we don't need to sit here and keep messing around with the pass rush. You don't play with the pass rush. And I kept saying that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because, like I've been saying, family, the pass rush means everything. It really does. It means everything. And if the pass rush is not working correctly and you can't get to the quarterback, Tom Brady gonna kill you back there. Teddy Bridgewater gonna kill you back there. Matt Ryan gonna kill you back there. Jimmy Garoppolo gonna kill you back there. Patrick Mahomes gonna kill you back there. Kirk Cousins gonna kill you back there. And Drew Lock from Denver, they gonna kill you back there. And any other coach, any other quarterback that you play is gonna kill you back there if you don't have a pass rush. You understand? So the edge rusher situation, if you have a Davenport and the man is hurt all the time and he coming off injury and they're saying that he's healthy, I'm still handling it precautiously. You get me, sir? I still having precautions. I'm taking precautions with this man. Why? Because over the last 2 years, we put him in there and he was hurt. Remember when he first started with the Saints in his rookie year, he was backing up Okafor. Y'all remember that? He was backing up Okafor and still got hurt. Right? He was a reserve for Okafor and still got hurt. Then the next year, when Okafor left to Kansas City and took that contract, because the Saints wanted to sign him, but Kansas City gave him more money, he became a starter. He played, got hurt, end of the season. So I'm saying with that type of history, you will want to, add a player. I don't care if it's Ziggy Ansah. It's got to be a veteran player that's done it before. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not looking at Jabal Shurd or Ziggy Ansah or Clay Matthews, any of these guys to play, full snaps on the game. No, these are accentuators. What I mean is there are certain areas of the game that they come in. Like Clay comes in on pass rush scenarios, the spell Davenport or Cam Jordan. You see what I'm saying? Because even though we pinpoint Davenport's because his injury history, remember Cam was also hurt last year. He had surgery on his groin and he on the plus side of 30 now. So you need guys, at least one, that can come off the bench and help you. Now having Clay Matthews in for 1 year wouldn't hurt the development of of Davenport. In my opinion, it would help it. It would help his development, to be honest with you. It would help it. Insofar as if you're taking Davenport out and you staggering his minutes, because pretty much you want to stagger his reps and kind of march him slowly into the season and up his stuff as the season goes on. Because I would like to see him. We're going to need that guy late in the season. You see what I'm saying? So I don't see a problem with adding a fella like that can come in and do that kind of work. That's all I'm saying, family. That's all I'm saying. So I just really, man, I just hoping you know, that I just don't have any faith. That's what I've been saying. I don't have any faith in anything that they're doing in terms of the guys that's behind them. I do like Carl Granderson. I do like Granderson. But Trey Hendrickson is a guy I like, but he hurt too much. I don't know anything about Marcus Hunt to say whether or not he'll do what he'll do good for you. Mario Edwards Jr. is a guy, I don't even think he makes the active roster when it's all said and done. You know, and then you have, I mean, it's just a lot, man, to keep it real with you. It's a lot. But these guys, and the reason why I don't have faith in Trey Hendrickson is because Trey Hendrickson has not lived up to the third round grade. We don't talk about Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams, but we never talk about Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson was a third round draft pick, just like Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams was. He never lived up to his expectations either. But nobody never talks about Trey Hendrickson and his shitty play over the last several seasons of not being able to complete a season. And they counting on Trey Hendrickson. And Trey Hendrickson has been gifted with the call of being the third pass rusher. He's the first person they call off the bench when Davenport or Cam leaves. Is Trey Hendrickson. You know, he's the first one. And he was drafted in the third round, and he hasn't done anything for the Saints. He hadn't been able to stay healthy enough to do anything for the Saints, is what I'm saying. So it's just, that's why I'm a little leery about the pass rush. And that's my saying, do not play with the pass rush. If you got to overload with pass rushers, go out and get them. And I mean, go get guys with names that got a reputation for getting to the quarterback. Not some old wet-head rookie that you got to come, you know, some old wet behind the ear rookie that you got to bring on the damn team and teach him everything. No, you got a quarterback that comes on the team, or a cornerback that comes on the team that got to learn something, or you could bring a veteran guy who are familiar with things, and then you can say, okay, this, that, and third, and you can kind of acclimate them because the guy played in different systems before. But if you got some old wet behind the ear ass dude who don't know anything, you got, I mean, just like these young players we got that we don't know nothing about. Oh, by the way, family, 8:45, 10 minutes from now is when they're going to be bringing some of this stuff. The Saints are going to be, Sean Payton's going to be stepping to the podium. So I promise you guys, as soon as Sean Payton steps to the podium, we'll go right to him and hear what he has to say. Then after they finish speaking, then I'll open the phone lines up and we'll let several people call in. There'll be a lot of calls tonight, family, so please feel free to be mindful of the people behind you when you make your points or whatnot, and we'll keep it moving. So 8:45 is the time I just was given for Sean Payton them to step on the mic. 8:45 is about 10 minutes from now. But yeah, I really don't like it. But Trey Hendrickson, how Trey Hendrickson making it? How is he making it? And I haven't. And did anybody? Let me ask this chat this: did anybody hear anything from Trey Hendrickson this entire camp? I mean, come on. Did anybody hear anything from Trey Hendrickson this entire camp? Is what I'm asking. Did anybody hear anything? I haven't heard a damn thing from Trey Hendrickson or Marcus Hunt. That's all I'm telling you. And I've been. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how it flame. We've been here before, man, and I'm just telling you the truth. All right, let's keep it going, fam. All right. Kevin says, who is TJ Carter? Is he related to Lil Wayne? Oh, that's the only way we can get these guys even some type of notoriety is to connect them to their celebrity counterparts. I tell you what. All right, let me go back into the chat here, family. We'll eat up a little time here. All right, where should I start at here? Paul Okapala says Sean Payton is looking to the next 2 years. Yeah, that's why I dropped off yet. Donovan, who that to you, Donovan? Good to see you, fam. He said, I feel they are camp bodies only. Thank you, Donovan. Paul says Clay Matthews will likely go to a contender and have a decent year. And that could have been the Saints. John says no it factor. I think that's why I dropped off that. All right. Okay. Hold on here, family. All right. Okay, hold on here. All right, here we go. Uncle Paul said y'all heard it here first. Saints playoffs in 2020, but Super Bowl, no, not with these players. Sean Payton has put it in cruise control and just collecting a check now. Pitiful Miss Benson going to be hot. And the thing is, you know, I still say the Saints win the Super Bowl because he steps out of that narrative, but but you don't win a Super Bowl if Sean Payton continues the same mentality he had from last year. Hell no, you won't win it. And you're like, why not? Because you can't win a Super Bowl thinking like that. You can't. It's been proven. You know, and then when he won it in 2009, he wasn't coaching like that then. He ran the Super Bowl, he ran the ball in 2009. I don't know who this dude is we got here now that people keep misconstruing, thinking it's Sean Payton. Sean Payton in 2009 ran the ball. That's how they were able to balance the offense. This guy here, the older he gets, the harder it becomes for him to stay disciplined enough to run the ball. People say, Q, why won't he run the ball? Why would he? I get that question probably more than any other thing besides, do you think the Saints win the Super Bowl this year? And the reality is, the reason why he doesn't run the ball is because he's not disciplined enough to stick to the run. It takes discipline to stick to a run, to stay to a balanced scheme. Discipline. And the fact that he doesn't have an accountable system which holds him within the accountability realm, it only exacerbates the problem because the model has to work, pressure has to happen. See, the coaches stay on their P's and Q's because of accountability. Accountability wrangles them in and keeps them doing their job effectively, always questioning and seeing which ways they can operate. Sean Payton is outside of that bubble of accountability. The model has been set up so where he has some kind of way wiggled himself out of the accountability model and sits in a limbo between accountability of the lower people, the lower marked people on the team, the administrators, and the lower coaching staff and the administrators. He sits in between the two in a sort of a limbo. You see what I'm saying? You got the higher ups up here, and then you got the other one, the people underneath Sean Payton here. So you got the administrators up here, and the coaches right here, and the space in between my hands is where Sean Payton dwells at. That's where he lives at. And then in between that space, that's where he doesn't have any accountability. Nobody wants to challenge him from the top because the guys above him don't know enough about football on the field. Maybe Mickey Loomis knows a little bit about the football side of it, but he won't challenge Sean Payton. Perhaps Jeff Ireland does, but he won't challenge Sean Payton either. Because Jeff Ireland is I ain't gonna say he a Johnny come lately, but he doesn't have the respect and love that Payton has in that organization. And the only person that kept Payton in accountability model was the late, great Tom Benson. Tom Benson would call Sean Payton into his office and ask him about his game plan and why he did this. Because Sean Payton knows that Tom Benson was watching those games. And Tom Benson would keep him in check. When Tom Benson passed away, Sean Payton became this alter ego that he is now. When people was pumping up his head about his play calling, and I'm telling you that's how it happened by looking at it. He's outside of the accountability model, and the only person that was keeping him accountable was Tom Benson. When Tom Benson got sick and died, that's when the administrators at the top had Payton was in a unique position. The guys underneath him and the guys above him. And the guys above him let him do whatever he wants. And the guys above him, they don't have the mentality that me and you have, what 13-3 is not good enough. Because if they did, they would be on his throat, making sure he do what he's got to do. They don't care as long as he keeps the winning so they can keep collecting all of the free goodies. That's the bottom line. They wanted to stay like that forever, and they're not tripping. That's why when you come out and challenging them, Mickey Loomis and all of them saying we support Coach Payton, and you know we had a good run, and the Minnesota Vikings had a good game, and we'll come back at them next year. That's when they already got their coppers filled. They all got hundreds of millions of dollars. Payton got his game check. You know, he got his game check, and then he went on the next week to a playoff game and got some more money. Drew was laughing at the press conference. He got his check. But see, they can go head on with their life because they got paid. They go on, but you sitting up there sour-faced it with the loss. And they look at you and say, what's wrong with you? You ain't enjoy the game? You ain't know it was entertainment? No, it ain't entertainment, bro. It ain't entertainment because I can look at something on TV. I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for the junk that's on free. Well, you probably paying a little bill there, but you ain't mad at if you see a poor program on television. You just change the channel, something else. You see what I'm saying? But that money coming directly from you to that team. So you got to have more of a say-so than what you do. And then when people tell you nonsense, is like, there's some fool came on here and say that you're worshiping a false idol. First of all, let me tell you something. That's not worship. Anytime you can look at something, maybe it's something what the stupid Saints fans do when they sit up there and say Payton could do whatever he want. I'm with him. It don't matter. He can screw up and make all kind of dumbass moves. It's all right. I'm gonna ride with him. Man, that's foolhardy. Maybe you could tell them that. But anything that you have power over and you recognize you have power over, how you gonna worship and have power over it at the same time? Cut it out, fool. But the reality at the end of the day is that we got to hold their feet to the fire. That's the bottom line, fam. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to keep it as trill and real as I possibly can be. So, I mean, all right, let's keep it going. Paul says Super Bowl or bust, or Super Bowl or bust with all these moves, Sean Payton, Big Q. No, the defense has been up and down under Sean Payton since he's been here in New Orleans. That's coming from our historian now. Thank you, Tori, for your super chat. By the way, bro. Thank you. Rush Hour says bust move because you can't depend on rookies. Thank you, Rush Hour. Crass says the recent moves are nothing but camp bodies. Thank you, Crass. See, these smart men, because the smart people, period, because they understand what it's all about. They understand what Super Bowl or bust means. And Super Bowl or bust don't mean lining up your practice squad with inexperienced players that you know not gonna see the light of day on this team. That doesn't do nothing for us. All right, 504 Hot Boy says absolutely not, Q. These are not moves. Abraham said, I think it's Super Bowl. They just got to put it together. Yeah, that's a part of it. Crash says, I would say adding Sanders and Malcolm Jenkins with solid free agent moves, though. Yes, that's true. But what about fortifying those, man, with key reserves? You know what I'm saying, bro? Kieran says that's the theme this season. Super Bowl or bust. Only time will tell whether SP's got to check his ego. We got to run the ball effectively, and we must play smash mouth football in all phases of the game. Thank you. James Van Court, good to see you, fam. Says, you're absolutely right, Big Q. I'm heavy on the pass rush. Tip right now, we're no addressing it. Sean Payton, with his mentality of not investing in the defense as much as he does offense, will catch up. Great point, James. Thank you for that. Okay. Scott says Alabama A&M. That's HSBCU. I'm proud of that fact. SWAC. I'm cool with that, but you know, we wanted some impactful SWAC guys here. Abraham said, I don't know why we didn't get a pass rusher. Paul says, Big Q and family, I will miss Will Smith, Bobby McCray. They got the job done. Sad Scott, who that Sad Scott? He says, Strahan, Texas Southern, hope Lanier bring it. If he get on the field, bro, hopefully he can get on the field and bring it. You know what I mean? Hopefully that might be the case. I don't know, bro. That's the thing I keep asking myself is I really don't know whether these guys will step up or not and do it. I don't even know if they'll have an opportunity to get on the field, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if any of these guys have an opportunity to even be presented or given an opportunity to get on the field and show up. You know, I'm just going to keep it real with you. All right. But anyway, we'll see, man. We'll see. Only time will tell, family. Only time will tell exactly what's going on here. And like I said, we're going to have Sean Payton them to chime in momentarily. We'll play it live here, the interviews here. So just be mindful of that, family. When they step up to the podium, we'll go to them and you'll hear it here. So they should be coming on shortly. All right, let's keep it going. Let me read down the chats until the interviews pop up there. Paul says, yeah, Big Q, Mario Edwards, I see him getting cut before the 2020 season. I don't think he'll make an impact either. Joe Gidry, what up, Joe? Good to see you, bro. He said, what up, Big Q, who that fam and the family? Good to see you as well, my fam. Jim Kev said, I remember when you did that video, bro, calls out Sean Payton. Yeah, I did that, and Sean Payton, he wasn't this coach. He wasn't this coach. I'm telling y'all that. You remember when he first came here, he didn't have this problem, this ego. He was running the ball, and I'm telling you, as time went past, and Tom Benson would keep him in check. When Tom Benson left, his ego really went ahead. It exploded. Nobody kept it in check. Nobody stepped up in the Tom Benson type role to keep him under wraps. There's nobody checking him because he knows that he's winning games. The brass above him don't care about winning Super Bowls. They don't. And I'm going to tell them that to their face Because how you sitting there talking about you care about winning Super Bowls when you not holding the coach accountable and you know he not running the ball. You know he not giving the running game an opportunity to flourish. So I'm telling them to their face that they're not serious about Super Bowls because you're not checking Sean Payton and making sure his game plan is balanced. You watching the same games that I'm watching. You know, and you got it up close and personal. And I'm talking to Mickey Loomis and all of them up there. They know that they have that if he are Peyton's bosses, they supposed to be getting on him about winning, and they're not getting on him. They're letting them make it. So we got some interviews coming up.
You guys hear me
Sean
okay?
Payton coming up here, family. We're gonna go to him. Here we go.
All right.
Can you talk us through some of the situations you wanted to see tonight, and also just what you thought overall of the work in the dome?
Look, I thought it was a pretty crisp practice. We handled a few things. I mean, from the very beginning, you know, just our pregame stretch and warm-up routine. It's the first time for a number of these guys going through that. But then it was more than just a warm-up. You know, we got situationally a handful of 7-on-7 reps, and then team-wise, you know, we got first and second down, third down, and some red zone work. Kickers and punters got here early just to, you know, get a chance to kick and punt. I thought the surface, I think we're further along. You know, there was a couple of years where you come out here and it was a little sticky, a little thick, and I felt tonight was as good as it's been for the first night we've been on it. Every year there's a new surface that's laid down, and I thought tonight was really good.
John, you mentioned Janoris Jenkins for the last couple of games at the end of the season last year. With Janoris Jenkins, can you see a difference in him from when you had him at the end of last year to now? Is there some kind of comfort level that sort of helps him? Do you see a difference in him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he's further along in the scheme. That would be fair to say. You know, he's a veteran player, and he's one of those guys that plays with good football instincts. He's got tremendous ball skills. But I think more than anything, just the experience of having been with our team now and now going into his second season.
John,
The kickers and the punters got in early to get some work. Let's talk about Will Lutz's development and how he's come along, you know, as a pro.
Yeah, look, he's been real steady for us. He's got real good leg strength. We like his get-off times. You know, I think that operation, knock on wood, has been pretty smooth. So I know that, you know, he's someone that, you know, works just like Thomas does, you know, spends a lot of time in the off season at his craft. And, you know, he's been a real good player for us, and I'm glad we've gotten him, especially at a young age.
John, did anything dawn on you being in this building tonight that, man, this is what a game is going to feel like with nobody in the stands? And to follow that up, what is your biggest either concern or biggest thing you think you're going to have to make sure you overcome because of it?
Well, I think this, Mike, we've been here and practiced here before with no fans. I told the team afterwards, look, I don't know exactly what it's going to feel like on game day. I can't control that. We can't control that. You know, what we can control is our energy and our execution when it comes to playing. Yeah, will it be different? Certainly it will be. But I think in a season like this, you spend more time, you try to spend more time on the things that you can control as opposed to the things you can't. So I think that'll be a little bit of getting used to for every team in this league. And, you know, again, you're lining up and still playing a sport you love. And you know, I think the broadcast will be able to pipe in the acoustics that they need to. And so I don't think it'll be that noticeable for the fan watching on television.
Sean, on the coaching side, have you guys done anything to prepare contingencies and play calling in case something happens to one of you guys and someone has to step in?
Well, we've discussed it. We actually haven't practiced it. You know, hopefully, you know, we don't face that situation, and yet we have to understand that it could arise. So, the one thing I mentioned to our team is we're at that point in training camp now. You know, tomorrow's Sunday, where a true positive test, not a false positive, but a true positive test puts a player and coach in jeopardy for that opening game. And so I think it's important for everyone to understand that.
Hey, Sean, to follow up on Nick's question, have y'all considered at all how you might deploy your assistant coaches differently just as a precaution during games? All we can do is keep...
Yeah, a couple things along that line. First off, with the league protocol, we're going to be limited as to how many we can have in the box relative to the square footage in the box. So we'll have to make an adjustment or two there. Then it really comes down to, your play caller, Dennis, myself, Pete, whoever's involved in calling the plays. I think that change would be the most, the most dramatic or substantial.
Sean, has Alvin Kamara's absence been injury related, even if you don't want to give specifics?
Yeah, I don't right now at this time. And the same with Malcolm. I think there's a few players, a handful that didn't go tonight.
John, as far as Drew's arm strength and touch on the ball, have these last few practices maybe been the best he's looked in training camp to that regard so far? I was just wondering your assessment of that.
Look, that's a fair question. I thought he was sharp tonight. I thought we were overall as a practice pretty sharp tonight on both sides of the ball. I don't know specifically how I would evaluate one practice versus the other. I think his decision making has been on point. We've tinkered with a few new concepts, but he's in really good shape. And at times I've seen him get the ball down the field, maybe noticeably a little different than a year ago or 2 years ago. But I like the way the ball's coming out. I think it's coming out on time and obviously to the right person in the right location. That's one of the great strengths of his.
I asked that just because I thought you had some really nice deep passes today, but I didn't want to take.
I think there were a couple throws tonight. He had the one where he slipped that kind of went into the air about 20 feet. So we're not talking about that one, but yeah, I think he's had a few this last week, and tonight I think there were a couple that I can think of.
Today's the 15-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and y'all are, practicing in here. Did you reflect on that at all today?
I did not. I probably should have. I felt like there was a period of time where there were so many players on our roster that were a part of that time. I came, the January after. I was in Dallas during that August. But I did not bring it up, and I think I don't think Brian Young is here. There's a few people that are part of what we're doing right now that were here and part of that that challenge, and but probably not enough.
Sean, is there anything? I think I know the answer to this question, but you signed a couple of defensive ends. Is there anything you can elaborate as to if that means anything for Marcus Davenport or any of your players?
No. Look, I think our objective was we signed a linebacker today, a defensive end today, and for us, we got a little bit of time here before our cut downs to look at some other players, and that was really the main goal. So we'll see how it unfolds. A few of these guys we've seen before. Whether in a practice environment with the Chargers. So it's really more of a chance to look at our depth and look at potential players that, if they're not active roster players, maybe they're practice squad candidates. All right, thank you guys.
That's Coach Payton chiming in, family. They have several other interviews that'll be coming up right now. And when they pop in, we'll just pop out and go right to them for the next one. But like I've said, man, we've seen some interesting developments. You heard what Payton said. They had a few more days, I guess, that they have to wait and see what happens before dealing with the defensive linemen that they were mentioning, that they were talking about. So a few more days before the cut down, and he wants to see what some of these guys could do. So that answers some of the questions of what the philosophy behind bringing some of these guys that nobody know about. You got a few days or so where you could be able to find out about these people. So I hope that answered anybody's questions pertaining to that. We don't know per se, but it is what it is. All right, let's keep it going here, family. I'm going to go to the chat before we get back into some of the other questions that's going on in the Saints world. All right, old Coach Payton talking, what he talking, they had a good practice. I have a report to read on you about that momentarily, about Saints camp, by the way. We'll cover that after the interviews. All right, let's get through some of these right here. Uncle Paulie says, yeah, BQ Payton's counting on them being lucky, then being good with these rookies and new free agents is really sad. Tramal says cornerbacks be manhandling.
Force Flex Plus has not won.
All right, just a second, family. All right. All right, here we go. Whatever that was, we just knocked it off. All right, excuse me. All right, let me see that. Tramal says cornerbacks be manhandling Traquan all over the field. Joe Gidry said, he said, what's going on there? I see you, Joe. Crass says Trey cannot set the edge. Charles Winston, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat, family. Uncle Paula says Payton is becoming the head coach, formerly known as championship winning coach. Mike Dicker won a Super Bowl as a player and a head coach, but fell off the map. The game passed him by. I hope that's not the scenario with Payton. Although that is true. Dicker did win the championship as a tight end, and then he won one with the Bears, and then after that, he couldn't do it anymore. And boy, did it pass him by. It went right past his ass, super fast. So I hope this is not what we're seeing in Sean Payton. Won in 09, but you haven't won one in over 10 years. We could say, okay, give him time after 4 or 5 years. You had the Bounty Gate stuff that popped up on the scene. We had to deal with all that. And then now, I mean, what do you say about him this year? Hopefully he gets the job. I mean, I believe that he'll get the job done. But to what end will that be something that he'd be able to get done, man? Because, man, he has to do it this year. I'm seriously. His time frame is out. Of course, he'll be a coach beyond this point, but there are going to be a lot of pissed off fans if he don't get it done this year. Just keeping it real with you. All right, let's keep it moving here. Verlin says almost all those moves are questionable, say at least, and the majority are dumb as you know what. Oh, thank you for that, Verlin. But Uncle Paula says, okay, he says, Skid Mark, who that to you, Skid Mark? Good to see you in the chat as well. Randy Major, good to see you, family. Says our defense has been dominating in training camp lately. Byron says, can't stop running the ball. Stick to the running game. Payton's got to be aggressive, but stop playing foolish. Stop playing foolish. 504 Boy says, 504 Hot Boy says, if Davenport, Lattimore, and Jackrabbit stay healthy, we got a solid defense, and I agree with you, bro. That's the part of it. Those guys, like, if they stay healthy, is a lot to say. And I'm speaking of Davenport, Alex Anzalone, you got to throw him in there too. Because these guys are starter. Remember, Alex Anzalone is supposed to be playing at the Mike position. He's supposed to be playing at the Mike. So he has to stay healthy. Davenport has to stay healthy. Cam Jordan has to stay healthy as well. Remember, he's coming off an injury. So you got several players in key positions that have to stay healthy to help you, which you will want them to stay healthy. But, you should be smart enough to have people that's behind them that could pick up the slack for a game or two or kind of stagger their minutes so they could be refreshed. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, it's supposed to be. I mean, I have to keep referring back to the San Francisco 49ers and how their front four is built. Of course, they play a 3-4 defense, but you have Bosa and Armstead up front, and then their backups behind them are guys like Deion Jordan and D Ford. I mean, either one of those guys can start for you. They are deep at the defensive line position because they recognize how important it is to have a pass rush. And even though the 49ers are a team that's built on playing defense and running the ball, and they can wing it if they need to, like they scored 40-plus points with the Saints in the Dome last year, the defense is problematic. They're opportunistic, and we have to be able to get pressure on our team with the front four. And then when they rest, you got to come with guys that still keeps the pressure on while those guys rest. And I call it pass rush in waves. Pass rush in waves, waves and waves and waves. Those guys sit down, you got more guys coming at you. And that's what I'm talking about. And I really don't want to trust the backup pass rushing waves to guys that you don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, that's foolhardy in my opinion. All right, Killing the Great says the Saints and the Dolphins game from '09 is now on Fox. If anybody interested, Paul says tell him. Verlin says if Payton was any kind of genius, he would have fixed the holes in the D, which turn would have given more play time on offense, which he overly consumes like he's the offensive coordinator and not the head coach. I agree with you, Verlin. That's problematic. Tyrone says you're right about that, Big Q. When Benson passed, Payton got the big head. That's what people's like. Well, who is this big-headed coach that we never knew? This guy didn't used to act like that. No, he didn't. He became that after Tom Benson died. Why? Because Benson was the only one that was keeping him in check in that organization. When Benson passed away, look what he has become. You can't tell him nothing. Even the fans on the street can't ask him about play calling. That's problematic. And then inside the building, you heard what Delvin Breaux said. You heard what Brandon Marshall said. You know, you heard what Alvin Kamara said. You know, and that's problematic how he's running the team if that's what's going on and it's ever so leaking out, man. Bottom line. And I don't like it, and I don't care who don't like it, but that's wrong what he did Alvin Kamara last year. I didn't like the fact that he was running Alvin Kamara, even though I know he knew that boy was hurt. And he was going out there letting them tell people that he was 95% when he wasn't even close to that. He said he could barely move his leg. And he was still running that boy out there when he should have took him off the field and used backups like Latavius Murray and Dwayne Washington. Both of those men average over 4.5 to 5 yards a carry. And I was the one that told them going into the season that if Alvin Kamara get hurt, you wanted to have a third running back that can do a little what Latavius does and a little of what Alvin does, just in case Alvin gets hurt, that you don't lose his package of plays that works so well for your offense. But what did he do? He went into the season with Kamara and Washington and Latavius Murray. 2 bullbacks, and he had no intention of using Dwayne Washington at all, and very seldom did he use Latavius Murray. He was forced to give him 3 to 4, 5 carries a game. That's absolutely insane for a guy that's 6'3", 230 pounds. That average 4.5 carries a game. I mean, 4.5 yards per carry, excuse me. It's absolutely insane. All right, let's keep it going. Tramal says all you need to do is run the damn ball. William says somebody needs to ask Payton Wilder moves with these unknown guys. As you can hear, the reporter asked him, and he gave his response about seeing what they can do in a short period of time. All right, let's keep it going here. Thank you for that, Verlin and Tyrone as well, and Tramal. And William, thank you. Tramal asked another question that Big Q needs to be a reporter to ask him the question. They don't want me asking the question. He won't want me asking the question. Like, man, what Coach, who are all these players you asking? Why are you looking at these relatively unknown players when guys like Clay Matthews and more sought after, more impactful veterans that fit your roster are available? You know, why are you just looking at these guys? What's going on? Well, we think these guys and all this, can you give you a milquetoast example, you know? You know, it's that politician will come out then. Rush Out says someone needs to ask him about do we have a pass rusher? You say he does. He believes in the backup pass rushers. He believes. That's why we differ. Now listen, I differ in that opinion. And I'm basing on the fact of what I've been seeing from these guys. Trey Hendrickson has overperformed since he's been drafted here. He hasn't stayed healthy as a backup. Not starting, but this guy hasn't stayed healthy as a backup, man. As a backup, he hasn't stayed healthy. Why should I trust Trey? Any person out there trusting Trey Hendrickson based on his performance or no more than his family members? That's pretty much it, because people can actually sit up here and say and keep it real and say that since Trey Hendrickson was drafted with a 3rd-round pick several seasons ago, he has not lived up to that marking. He's been a sore disappointment and a damn bust. And I don't like calling players a bust, but that's what that guy is. He's a bust for the 3rd-round pick we took him at. We could have took him in the 5th round for all that. He has yet to fulfill his promise as a team. He can't stay healthy. He's gotten better pass rushing. Sometimes you see him get swallowed up by the run, even though he's gotten better by that. It's just absolutely insane for anybody to rationalize and think that Trey Hendrickson, who's failed us since he's been drafted, is finally going to step up in the contract year and make something happen. Come on, man. Cut that out. Didn't I just remind you of the 49ers scenario, what they did with D Ford and getting Deion Jordan? You know, should I remind you of that? But anyway, let's keep it moving. Tramal, let's keep it going. Thank you for that question, Tramal. Tara said, I want to see what Payton do and what we are saying. Rush Hour says, someone needs to ask him about who do we have as a pass rusher. Curvin the Great says, Sean, is possible that we can see is it possible that we can see an ineffective running game this season? And also, will you check your ego at the door this year? That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. And see the way you, Carolyn asked that question. Carolyn the Great asked that question is perfect and it's respectful. And he would have an attitude over that. And you asked it like that. See, you would ask that. See, if I can ask you nice and you still have attitude, then damn, I might as well. I know you're not going to answer that question correctly. He's not. You ask him, okay, is it possible, Coach Payton, that we can have an effective running game this season? I would dare change it a bit, Carolyn. What I would ask him was, is it possible that we can have a balanced running game this year? Balance means 50-50. He knows what balance means, 50-50, even though we know he's a 70-30 type of dude in his offense and treats the running game as a redhead stepchild. Is it possible? Is it, no, he is effective. Yeah, we're going to run the ball. He'll give you some bull crap explanation. He said, also check your ego at the door, and that was right there. That would set him off because he was like, how dare you ask me that question? See, and I wouldn't like that, man. I would have to get him together really quick and really easy, and it just wouldn't go too well. Crass says, scary reporters don't want to lose their press. That's right. They don't want to lose their press credentials. Then they will have to trade them. See, that's the control mechanism that I cannot to do. And I have to say, man, listen, if you're a reporter and you're a person that believes in a team and you out there and you have an entrepreneurial spirit, why you working for somebody? Like I asked Stephen A. Smith, who makes millions of dollars, why you still working for ESPN, bro? Huh? And anytime you say something that they don't like or they don't agree with their policy, they kick you off. They like going to the principal office and they kick you off of there. Oh, he was suspended for saying something. Or like Agent Wojnarowski said when the senator told him some crap, he sent him a email back in an email saying F you, and they suspended him for that. Oh, we can't have you talking like that. Well, what the hell with you two and all this garbage? And I'm going to start my own stuff. And it's too many of them press people that got that old employee ass mentality. It's not too many people like Nick Underhill. I got to give him credit because he went out there and started his own stuff. And I like that. That's what he was supposed to do. Because that way, at least he can speak on how things he like to speak and have a platform where he can speak the truth and not sit up here and coddle these people because you don't need to be coddling these people. That's the problem. These people are not supposed to be coddled and held gently against your bosom. That's not what that's not what this is for. We already giving you full out support, money, and every other thing. What else you want? You can't give respect back to the people who you supposed to be representing. We got a problem here. We got a disrespect problem here. And that's what I'm about. I'm about destroying all that, man. That's why I say you don't want me up in there. I'm about destroying all that because all of that needs to change. That motto has been going on for a very long time, and it needs to change. It puts the supporter, or it puts the person with all the power in a position behind the scenes. It puts everybody else in front, close to the thing. And I don't agree with that. You're not going to signify the family members all the way in the back in the nosebleed section and talk about y'all wait for me. I'm going to talk to him and then I'm going to tell you what he said. Now you let that go and that's fine and all that. But sooner or later, I'm telling you, there's a new media on the scene that's coming. And the reason why they're coming is because people tired of the teleprompter reading, the teleprompter reading, placating to all these people, man. Enough of this placating. It don't get you nowhere. It just give these suckers big fat heads, big fat wallets that they don't deserve. You don't deserve to have any of that if that's not in respect of the people that you serve. Bottom line, like it or lump it. All right, let's keep it going here, family. All right, thank you for that comment there, Crass. Michael Williams, who that T said was going on with Malcolm Jenkins, is hurt. Nobody knows, bro. He missed the last several practices, but I know he was on CNN talking, so his mouth ain't hurting. I don't know if he hurting, but his damn mouth ain't hurting because I seen him on CNN a couple of days ago running his mouth. So, and that's the problem that I say, listen, man, I wonder if this is going to be an issue because that wasn't a good idea. If you're going to play football, play football. If you're going to be a social person, go do that. Because you're rich enough. The most high I know you worth over $80 million. His net worth is over $80 million. He's been sitting up all for fat contracts. and all that, plus whatever little secret money he got from the NFL to control them protests. That's why Reed and Kaepernick was mad at him. You know, you see what I'm saying? He got some money. Yeah, he got some money behind that, and to sell the rest of the players out. But the truth of the matter is that he can go sit up there and talk about that all he wants. If that's what you believe in, you can go ahead and only do it. But don't let that be a distraction to the team, because your first job is football, not going on there doing that. You see what I'm saying? But you can't play football, but you can talk on CNN. That's gonna create an issue. Especially, you know, if something, we're gonna see how this plays. It's all gonna be interesting and talk worthy. I promise you that. It's all gonna be talk worthy. All right, let's keep going on here, man. Crest says, I like Alex Anzalone, but he has had medical red flags going back to high school. Sean can't be that damn stupid to trust his health for 16 games. Can he? I will dare say that he does and will. And I'm just gonna keep it real with you, Crest. And that's the bottom line, my brother, is that yes, he is stupid enough to do that. And anyway, bro, we're going to put up next on the scene. We got another interview we're going to play for you guys coming up here next. And who is this coming up here? We got tuned in here next. Got Cesar Ruiz coming up, family, and we're going to play him. Here's Cesar Ruiz.
If you have a question for Cesar, go ahead and type in the chat and I'll call on you. First question is going to go to John DeShazer. JD?
This is kind of a two-part. First, have the vets made you do your dance from Michigan?
Had the vets made me do my dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my song.
Now, second, you're getting a lot of extended work now at center. How's that working out for you? We've seen you at right guard. Now we see you at center. Is there a preference, and how is the transition working for you?
No, I don't have a preference, really. Just really trying to learn all positions, really, throughout the interior. So, really just going back and forth between everything and learn as much as I can right now. Don't really have a preference, though.
Does it feel like it's been a smooth process for you?
Yeah. I mean, going through this first couple of weeks of training camp, I mean, everything's been, you know, of course there's learning curves in there, but everything's been going pretty smooth.
Next question from Amos Morale.
Yeah, how has it helped, you know, that you kind of established a little bit of a rapport with Eric before you even got here, and that you guys are able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other?
Yeah. You know, I think most people know that I contacted Eric when I was combine training. And, you know, it was good to build that relationship early. And just coincidence that now we're teammates, so the chemistry was previously there. So it's good to have somebody that, you know, gave me advice going into this part of my life with me right now. So definitely good.
And then in terms of working at the center position and right guard, you guys are both making that switch. Are you some ideas of each other, you know, kind of trying to help each other figure it out?
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. If we see some, you know, that we see, like, hey, if we see something that somebody else didn't see, you know, we'll help each other out, bounce ideas off of each other. But really, you know, both of us just out there trying to get better.
Questions from Kyle Mosley.
Hey, Cesar, what type of challenges have you had calling protections at the center level at this time?
I haven't really had any challenges. I haven't really had any challenges with protections or anything like that.
So you feel real comfortable settling into the position?
I mean, yeah, because I studied the notes and things were taught, and you know, it's not really that difficult to, you know, align the protections.
Next question is from Amy Just.
Yeah, on that note, what has been some of the feedback that you've been getting from either your coaches or some of the more veteran guys on the line?
Really just most of the feedback is, you know, use this time to learn and to really just get your feet going. You know, I don't really have a lot of time like other people did in the past. So they tell me, like, look, you gotta pick it up quick, but don't get, like, you know what I'm saying, don't get ahead of yourself, don't get too hard on yourself. Just learn it, but you gotta learn it quick.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Cesar, what's been the
the biggest adjustment for you just in becoming a pro, especially just with the stuff you've had to deal with this offseason with the coronavirus pandemic, moving through a new place, all that stuff?
I probably would say the biggest adjustment probably would be not like actually playing football for about like 8 months. That probably like the biggest adjustment. That's probably the longest I went without playing football and since I was like 16 probably. So just that big break from football was probably the biggest challenge I probably had going to this situation because of the pandemic. Yeah, that's probably about it.
Next question is from Christopher Donald.
Got a quick question for you. First, did you play any center in high school? And then if so, or if not, is there a certain side, whether center or guard, that you feel more comfortable in or that you have a preference for?
You said, did I play center in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played center. I played center in high school, but I mean, I don't. You know, like I said before, I don't. It doesn't really matter to me where I play. I just want to be out there on the field. Like I said, I'm learning both positions, so it doesn't really matter to me where I play. I don't really have a preference.
Next question is from Nick Underhill.
Yeah, how comfortable are you just hearing the cadence and with the timing of everything, and did getting that first week at guard and just hearing it live on the field help at all with now that you're playing center?
Yeah, it took me about halfway through practice. First day, maybe second day. It took me a little bit to get the timing of the cadence right. Not too long, probably about a day or two, and I figured that out pretty quick.
Next question is from John Shazier.
Cesar, what did you learn from having reps against guys like, whether it be Sheldon Rankins or whoever, NFL interior linemen? What have you learned?
I learned especially with guys that talented on our team. It's just I learned so much. Guys like Sheldon and David are two different players that have two different skill sets. But they definitely have taught me a lot of things. What to expect from D linemen. They showed me a whole lot of different moves in practice, a lot of different variations, and of course they're going 100%. So it's able for me it's helping me pick up the speed of the game, and it's helping me get everything going.
Were they things that you hadn't seen before, or just things that you've seen before and just speed it up?
A combination of both. Guys, of course, more dynamic, have a lot more in their back pocket when it comes to skill set, and the speed of the game has picked up quite a little bit. So those are a couple things.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Cesar, did you ever have to deal with preparing for a hurricane when you were at IMG Academy, or is this kind of the experience with product stuff?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I couldn't hear the question.
Did you ever have the experience preparing for a hurricane when you were at IMG Academy, or is it just like the first time you've been to go through this?
Yeah, I have my familiarities with hurricanes. First, I want to give my prayers to everybody to the west of us right now that could possibly be hit by this hurricane. I want to send my prayers over to them. But yeah, I have a great history with hurricanes from New Jersey, tropical storms in Florida. So I've experienced them before. I've never experienced, anything like detrimental, but we've experienced a good deal of hurricanes from New Jersey and in Florida.
Okay, last question is from Brooke Kirchhoffer. Brooke?
All right, fam, we're going to keep it moving here, man. We're going to keep it doing. Just give me just a second here. We played a little Coach Payton earlier, and we'll be going back to some of the interviews that they have chimed up at the live stream. We had Payton there earlier. We'll have some more interviews coming momentarily. We played that one there. Let's go back to the chat here, family, and get back into the building with some of the people. All right, good to see some of the family members chimed in the live stream here. Michael Williams, who that to you as well, for joining us. Jonathan, good to see you. Said, what's going on, Big Q? I'm hearing about the corner that the Saints just signed, as well as the linebacker that used to play for the Niners. What are your thoughts on that? Kemon Hall, and then you have the other fellow, which was let's see if I can get his name correctly. I don't want to mispronounce these players' names, man. because I really don't know, too much about these men. But let me get their names correctly here. Come on, T.J. Carter is the one a lot of people talking about. T.J. Carter, Anthony Lanier, and then Lanier the second, and Wynton McManus, which is the Canadian guy that a lot of people don't know too much about either. Some of these guys are signed. I'm not really anticipating too much movement out of none of these men, to be honest with you. I think these are camp bodies, the literal definition of the term camp bodies. That's what I think these guys are representatives of. And even though McManus, in my opinion, could be a help in the special teams area, because it could be McManus. I'm looking at McManus because Anthony Chiquillo, to me, is missing. He has missed all of camp. And to me, that's really eye-opening to know that Chiquillo has missed every practice. We don't know exactly what that's coming down to. So we'll just have to maintain and watch out for that. So let's keep it going, family, as well. Thank you for the question, family. So, if McManus is the only one I see that possibly could help out, maybe. You know what I'm saying? The rest of these guys I don't really have too much faith in. I think they're just simply camp bodies or practice squad players. Thanks for the question there, Jonathan. Thank you. Byron says, Sean got to get done. I'm mad, angry, frustrated, but going to pull up any more. You good, coach, but stink. Hates it, tired of the crappy mess up every playoffs. Messing up the playoffs. We're a great damn team. It's Super Bowl now or bust. Thank you for that, Byron. JT says, will they be telling the truth about now? Mr. Inferno, good to see you, family. Says injuries have been hitting us at the wrong time the last 3 seasons, especially at the wrong positions. Offensive, defensive line gets injured right away before the playoffs or during the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. Mr. Farrell, so depth is very important, not just bodies, good depth. I know that's well said, and I agree with you on that, because you're right. Depth is important, just to have somebody there, but you got to have capable guys ready to step in for a short-term process to be able to keep whatever the starter was, like a short burst. And we don't have that too much in terms of our defensive line, like it showed last year when Cam got hurt and nobody on the opposite end could help out and do anything. Remember that? Hopefully that doesn't happen this upcoming year, to be honest with your family. I really hope that doesn't happen. I really do. All right, let's keep it going, man. Thank you for the question, that Mr. Inferno. Appreciate you. Ahmad Collins, who that to you, says, right now we should keep Curl in Hunt behind Cam and Marcus. Thank you, Ahmad. JT say, I'm done with Davenport. I can't wait. He says, Q, I'm done with Davenport. I can't wait for him. All right. Paul says, hey, Big Q, finally, in family, the Saints getting cheap again with these filler players. That's a real bad look. And Uncle Paul, can tell you about them cheap players from yesteryear. There is no need to get cheap. Some of the productive players out there are cheap now. So how do you go cheaper? How do you go cheapest now? I mean, cheapest, you can get a guy like a Ziggy Ansah. Just several seasons ago, Ziggy Ansah was a starting defensive end wreaking havoc. I mean, he can still give you that at a cheaper rate, at a reserve role off the bench that fortify your starters. That goes a long way. Then Lanier, or whatever the brother name is. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Lanier the second versus a Ziggy Ansah. People know Ziggy Ansah by his mark of what he did. But the reserve, the good depth is cheap right now. Why would you then go cheaper than the good depth that's already out there? These guys are not expensive. And most of the veterans are signed on your team to play with you because you're a Super Bowl contender. Everybody and their mama know that. So why cheap that out right now? I just don't get that, and we'll see if it works. Time will tell. Ain't no doubt about it, man. Time will tell. Who that to you, Lori? Good to see you in the chat as well. Who that to Lori? Paul says TV, Big Q, Stephen A. Smith love that spotlight. It's addictive fame, and he can become an issue. Yeah, and it's that control, man. It's just, I get what you're saying. Crash 4 says, King of Sucks. The Cowboys got Quinn, 2009, now Griffin, 2020, and consecutive free agent seasons. Both are dogs we could use opposite of Cam J. Just Payton, just not paying attention to that. My guys are better than those guys. That's his mentality. That's why you didn't see anybody that's slightly challenging or pushing behind Davenport. Davenport knows that he has to worry about Carl Granderson or Trey Hendrickson for his position. Of course not. You know, you don't have to worry about none of those guys pushing him to push him on out the way like Oyamada did with Sheldon Rankins. You don't have to worry about none of that from those guys. All right, let's keep it going here. Tramal said, I see, okay. Tramal said, I thought I see you in his live chat. Paul says, yeah, Motormouth strikes again. I'm so tired of Jenkins. He's a trip. If we don't want him to play football, he can run for governor and make a difference. Yeah, he ain't at practice, but he running his mouth on CNN. Tramal said, and they're going to need that more because as election season wraps up, he's an advocate for the blue team. He likes the blue team. His politics tend to blue team. And the blue team has a lot of influence on a lot of the politicians. You know, the blue team does. And y'all know how I feel about politics, the red and the blue team. But the blue team, for whatever reason, think they, you know, they got a hold on black folk. I just don't understand how and why you think that. You don't. You have not done, let me get on the spiel on it. None of them have. But the blue side most certainly can't. And for these politicians, these paid for politician athlete people, they use them all the time to sway opinion, man. And most of them athletes, they don't give a rat's tails what's going on out there. They saying it for GP bucks. Let's keep it real. A lot of them give a damn. They go back up in their mansion and they sit up in there behind a protective gate. Come on now. That's what happened with a lot of stuff that's breaking down with the players too when they seen the breach what happened to LeBron the other day. Did you hear about that? LeBron said something that pissed all them other young players off like he was above them. Now they're starting to see. That's how they use them. It's sad, but that's how it goes. But we got to know how it goes so we don't fall for that trap. You know, it has to benefit the people, man. It has to. That stuff is ran on how is it pronounced? Prid quo pro, which means something for something. You mean you give me if I'm a vote for you, you gonna do this for me. Not if I'm a vote for you, you don't give me nothing. Or where we give you a black person up in this office. That's not what it's for. We ain't do that for that. I mean, or you vote for something, you put it. It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, this foolishness they got going on nowadays. But we too smart to fall in that foolishness. You know, but that's where it is. And that's why he playing that game. That's why you see Jenkins over there doing that, because the same thing, that's what LeBron do. They pick certain guys and then use them to speak like they speaking for you. You ain't speaking for me. I speak for me, not you. You know, and that's the mentality that we all got to have. We can't let these clowns speak for us. You know, all right, let's roll up in here. Let's keep it going. McCraft says, did McCoy play any guard in college? He played a little guard in college. He didn't play much, mostly at center, but he did play some guard, not a lot. He said that Pierce Ruiz may start the season at center. I agree with you, Crass. I think that's how it should go, bro. But thank you for that. Good comment, Tramal, about the Cowboys replacing Quinn and getting other guys. Crass said it beautifully. Cowboys got Quinn the next year from the Saints, and then they get Griffin even better deal this year. It's crazy, man. Brand said, did the Saints practice today? Yeah, they practiced in the Superdome at 7 o'clock. That's why the Saints talk was pushed back to this time frame so we can cover it. Because if we'd have been out our regular time slot, we would most certainly have not been able to cover it at 5. If we just got on at 5, by 8 o'clock, there would be 3 hours in it, and probably 30 minutes around that time, we'd be getting ready to shut the stream down. So we pushed it back to around the time that the team had to practice so that we could be able to cover that as well. And we'll do that. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's see here. Paul says Ruiz versus Aaron Donald. Who wins in the trenches, Big Q? Oh, my goodness. Ruiz versus Aaron Donald. You already know the answer to that one, Brother Paul. You already know the answer to that one, my friend. Who wins between Aaron Donald and Ruiz? And you had McCoy and Andrews Pete that could not deal with him. They kept him off Drew. Don't get me wrong. He got in there and hit Drew on the hand with Andrews and hurt him. But outside of that, they did a pretty decent job of corralling Aaron Donald. They did a pretty good job of corralling a lot of players. They did a really great job against J.J. Watt. He didn't even record a stat in that Texans game. They did a pretty good job they did a real good job against Khalil Mack. Remember last year, the Saints played some really hell-fired defensive ends last year, and they really held their own against them. And really, Aaron Donald, all he did in that game was pretty much bat grew in the hand, but they kept him under control pretty much everywhere else. But that's tough. He will need some help, man. I wouldn't do that to the rookie, but he's going to need help. A veteran center would need help with a guy like Aaron Donald. He's small, he's compact, and he's very powerful. And that's the thing that a lot of people get blown away by Aaron Donald. He's not a big defensive lineman. He's a small, compact guy who has the leverage. He has power and leverage, and it surprises the hell out of those linebackers that he's a small guy with that kind of power. That's what I was saying. Like, from a mental perspective, you can lift weights. You've been lifting weights your whole career, and then you meet a player who's like two levels, a level or two more powerful than you, and you're doing everything you can, and the guy is, you just having hell stopping this guy. You're like, man, this guy is, his strength is twice the two. They got guys like that. That strength is like 3 times the strength of an average human. Most of these guys, they just pound, they just lift iron and get stronger, and they maximize and optimize their strength and levels where they know how to use and spin moves. And, and you meet a guy like Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald, and those guys are powerful. The Ndamukong Suh, when he was in his prime, powerful guys. You be like, man, how the hell you stop them? You stop them by doubling teaming them. That's what the Saints do. You got to get 2 guys over there to stop them. I dare say you're a badass offensive lineman if you can single block Aaron Donald. Let me tell you something. Consistently. I mean, like you might get him one or two times because he might not be trying to get in. He might just be trying to play the rush to see what you're gonna do, or he might jump back in the coverage. But when he really won't get in there, can you stop him single-handedly? And most can't do that. They gotta double him. And I think that's what you're probably gonna have to do with him, Brother Paul. Just to answer that one. Thank you for that question. All right, let's keep it going. Bishop One Love, who that to you, Bishop? Good to see you. Said, my bad, I'm late. Social shakedown, you dig? Who that family? That's right. I got you. Tonight we got the Saturday Night Funk, as I told y'all. That's what I do on Saturday nights with my boys. We play some cards, some Uno. You know what I'm saying? We pop some popcorn, some Unos. I get the Connect Four. You get the Connect Four, and we turn off the TV and all of that, the computer stuff. And then we get the Uno cards, and then we get the Connect Four, and then we pop some popcorn and get the fruit juice out. I get the speaker out, and I turn on Saturday Night Funk. I start playing all of the funky songs. Y'all try that. Do see if y'all can incorporate that in y'all. Get y'all family on your own Saturday Night Funk going on. Put all the old funky music on from back in the day, like Funky Town and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of music that be playing, when we be at first, when we first doing it, I did about several years ago. They ain't like it at first. They're like, I want to listen to this stuff, Dad. This music sucks. But eventually, they start liking it because it's just the mood, sets the mood. Saturday Night Funk, baby. So I mean, it's fun, man. But anyway, let's keep going in the chat, man. Let's keep it going here. Okay, keep it going. All right, Tramal says Aaron Donald Ruiz no match right now. No, he needs help. He gonna need a lot of help, baby. Adrian says if you already haven't hit the like button, thank you, Adrian. Jonathan Johnson, who that to you? Jonathan says we know the Saints secondary has depth as the starters, but how much depth do they have as far as the bodies that fill in for the starters? That's the question, Jonathan, that I've been raising hell about. Is the fact that's what it comes down to. It comes down to whether or not if any of your starters, and I'm talking about all 3 of you guys, the Jackrabbit, Laddie Daddy, and CD Deuce, the artist formerly known as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, if those guys go down for a short period of time, do you really have faith in Patrick Robinson or Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams to come in and make plays for you in the interim? And the answer to that is not too many people's confident about that, because we've seen enough of Patrick Robinson before he was here and when he came back to say no. And then, of course, PJ Williams is the model of inconsistency at the cornerback position, so you don't want to see him there. Despite the fact that we know that, they are still going to introduce that same combination behind your starters into this season. There is not going to come anybody, unless there is an injury that occurs, they might go and get a veteran or something like that. But as it stands, them people going into the season with Robinson and Patrick and PJ Williams back there behind your 3 guys. And you tell me if you're comfortable about that or not. All right. Thanks for the question there, family. Thank you a lot, Brother Jonathan. All right. Bishop says, what the, you know what, Hunt? Well, we let Griffin go to Dallas, shaking my head. I know, Bishop. He said, I told y'all already Jenkins is an opportunist. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. And that's what a lot of these guys are. We have to see that. We have to see. Like when he did Drew Brees, he had Drew's phone number. He could have called Drew Brees and got them together on the phone. He didn't have to put out a separate video lambasting Drew Brees and crying and doing all that stuff. I'm not saying he wasn't hurt by that, but if he was really your friend, you would have called him first. Like me, if me and you were personal friends and we grew, we worked together, and I've been knowing you over a series of years. Matter of fact, we was on the same team together that had immense success. You mean to tell me if something like that you said, the first thing I'm gonna do is get on Instagram and start crying about such and such, such and such before I call you? And I was really the guy that respects you and I was your colleague? And matter of fact, it's not like he was on a different team. They're on the same team. You have his number. And I'm pretty sure when you signed, I knew you got a call or a communication from Drew saying, man, welcome back to the team. Because that's what kind of dude Drew Brees is. But before you get on the phone and say, Drew, let me get this together, bro. What's going on over there? Can I help you with something? Can I help you understand something? But nah, first thing he do, put the video out. And then later on, I was like, But see, I already knew about Jenkins. I told y'all that when we signed him. I told you I gotta keep my eye on him because of such and such, such and such. On the field, he's a player, but he is an opportunist. And I said, I gotta keep my eye on him because I know what happened with Eric Reed and Kaepernick. I knew how it went, and they was upset about him. Eric Reed was upset about him, ready to knock him upside his damn head when he confronted them on the field that time, because he went behind their backs and sold them out with that whole little deal with the. So y'all, I'm gonna just leave it alone, fam. I'm gonna leave it alone because I know about that stuff because I'm making my business to know. I know about what's going on out here, and I know what team who playing for. Let me just put it to you like that. I know what team these guys who's supposed to be star athletes, what team they really playing for. Because it's all in their rhetoric. It's all in what they say and how they say it. Because if you know how the language is out there, you know who's speaking for who, what team, because everybody talking got their own verbiage here. This guy talks like this, he with the red team. This other guy talk like this, he with the blue team, because they all use the same jargon. And you'll hear them say the same stuff that let you know what side of the fence they fall on. Me, I don't fall on none of no fence. I say get rid of both of them and bring some new people up in here because both of them got issues and problems. They both dirty. They've both been co-opted and taken over by corporate interests, and I think they both hurting the nation. To be honest with you, I'm just keeping it real with you. But they got hundreds of other parties that's in this country that you don't even hear about when the presidential debates come down. You mean to tell me every 4 years or so, I got to pick a guy from the red team or the blue team? You mean to tell me they ain't got no other teams out here? But if you look up, they got hundreds of parties in this country, but the red and blue team keep them out so you can't hear from their people. Listen to me now. That's why I say they work together. They work together to keep everybody else so they can fight for the levels of control of this country. Listen to me now. Keeping it. Go look it up. You don't believe me? Look it up and prove that I'm not telling you the truth. Joey, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat, family. All right. Verla says, Q, as you said it, no matter what politicians like, WWE on screen, they at each other's throats, but behind the scenes, they are kickback buddies in most cases. Man, and one of the greatest examples I could show you is you had the guy, he was the Speaker of the House. What was his name? He had a funny sounding name some years ago. He had kind of circled, big, kind of weird looking eyes. I can't think of the man's name, but he was the Speaker of the House. It wasn't the lady that's in there now. It was the other guy. I forgot his name. And you could have swear him and Obama got at, they would punch each other out if they got off of there. But they would talk bad about each other. But then when you go look it up, they was playing golf together. They was the best buddies. And I was like, look at that there. You would think that they was like, and it was really WWE. Hulk Hogan, he's supposed to be the good Hulk Hogan. Drink all your milk. And you know what I'm saying? Drink your milk, take your vitamins. That Hulk Hogan, when he wore the arm with the yellow on. And then he took off the yellow and put the black on. It became Hollywood Hogan. He didn't care about you drinking your milk and taking your vitamins. He was all about the New World Order and all that. Remember that? And then he switched back to wearing this, taking your vitamins. He put the yellow back on. Remember that? That's the same stuff what them politicians do, man. Matter of fact, they say Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. That's what they call them. That's the real saying. Anyway, let's keep going, man. Let's get out of there. Randy says, I have no issue with what Jenkins is doing, just as long as he executes on the field. We need more outspoken leaders in the locker room, people who aren't afraid to address issues that can be fixed. I agree with that, Randy, but he got to be saying the right stuff, bro. He can't be saying what them other people saying and trying to say it in a language where you think he's saying it for you. That's all I'm saying. If the message is the right message, you're absolutely right, my brother. That was wonderfully said. Thank you. Abraham says, if we're trying to get a Super Bowl, I don't think we should take nothing for granted. Go get some good players. There you go. Get them. Get them, get them, get them. I'm right. Get them. Get them. But, you know, you don't have to go all the way to the CFL to get a good player, you know. And that's a great point. All right, Adrian likes the Saturday Night Funk as well. Yeah, Tramal says James Harrison strong as hell too. That's right. Small and compact players give you a problem. It's that leverage thing, I'm telling you. Jonathan says, Big Q, do you think the Saints secondary is capable of doing double-digit interceptions this year? Damn, that's a lot to be said. If we stay healthy, Jenkins last year collectively, he had 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. Laddie Daddy can get 4 or 5 interceptions if he stays healthy. I think Laddie can get you 4 or 5. Jenkins could get you. He got 5 last year. If you add his interceptions with New Orleans and the Giants together, he had 5 of them, 5 or 6 of them last year. Laddie Daddy 3 or 4 of them. That's 8 right there. Plus CD Deuce can get you another couple of 2. Yeah, and then you have I think the secondary, no doubt about that. That'd be easy. 10 interceptions should be all right for them. Yeah, I'll go with that, bro. I had to rationalize it, Jonathan, but I agree with you, bro. I think they can do it. Uncle Paulie says, you remember Emmanuel Z-Man Zanders, who was called for holding on Mean Joe Green in the first meeting. He was a solid little lineman for the Saints. Ruiz and other linemen need to check him out on film. I really like Ruiz. Like I told you, I think you're looking at LaCharles Bentley reborn right there, the healthy version. That's what you're looking at. Bishop One Love says, there was crocodile tears, them at the same time. Folks believe he sold cap out. I'm telling you, you gotta watch out for that dude, man. They got some opportunities out here. Like I said, the method is to pull at your heartstrings. They do that all the time, man. They pull at your heartstrings because really some stuff they don't want to show. They'll if it don't fit the narrative, they're not gonna put it on television. That's how controlled those people are. And I'm telling you, not anybody can get on television. They got to trust you to get on television. I'm telling you. You read their stuff, I'm telling you. Only people that have went through a certain lodge and to have a certain amount of respect can get on television. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They don't let anybody on there. Because they had reporters that got on there and told the truth, and then they ripped them off for that and pulled them off because they don't want to wake you up. Because telling the truth and keeping you in power does not fit the narrative of controlling you. It's all a manipulation to control how you think and sell you a bunch of shit that you don't need or you might not want or whatever, and just make you a consumer automaton. That's all they do. Or to steer you into thinking that your ideas are their ideas. That with those ideas are your ideas. That's all they do all day, man. That's all they do. And when you turn the TV off, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. They'll tell you, oh, the crime is bad and all this is out here. And it ain't as bad as they making it out seem, but they do that to push the narrative and to make you have a certain amount of fear in the society. Truth be told is you got children out there doing stuff they ought not be, and where their parents at. Go out there and tear their ass up if you got to. You know, that would come down to. We got to start disciplining our children. I'm a big, I don't do all that stuff with my children. I talk to my children. But if they respect you and love you, they're going to listen to you. If they go out there and make some mistakes, they're going to have to learn the hard way. But the reality at the end of the day is that they got to have guidance. If you do not guide the children, the children will automatically go to the bad. I mean, it's like it's a fall-proof plan. You got to give them the good, because of human nature, sometimes we always go right to the bad. Most of the stuff you do, like if they listen to the music and you ain't telling them, don't listen to that crap or that garbage, they listen to that, they're going to believe that nonsense with all that drug dealing and that shooting and all that nonsense and all that foolishness they talking on there, and they're going to think that's real, and they're going to try to live that out like some type of movie actor. I'm just keeping it real with you. They're going to try to live it out, and they ain't going to see no problem with it. Then they're going to idolize people like a fake movie character like, what's his name? Tony Montana arrested him. Tony Montana, a goddamn actor. He ain't real. But you can't tell him that he ain't. Though else the realest movie history. It was a pretty good movie, but listen, it's just a movie. But that's the rap game based off of that kind of bullshit. So if the children believe that's real, they're going to go and act it out. And that's what you see going on right here, where they don't see no problem doing that and tearing up the community and doing all that kind of stuff. That's because we have to have guidance, and we got to tell them. We got to get them together, because that's the devil's job, to pull them off, to stray them away. You got to warn them. You got to let them know, man. That's that real, man. That's why I do Saturday Night Funks. That's why I read books, and I let some of my boys read some of my books. They read my books. They read really good. They know what time it is, because you got to give them that. You got to let them know, man. That's all I'm saying. If you love them, you got to let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather be on this side than on the other side of some poor parent that got to bury their child. You know, because of something I see about it, read about it all the time, that some poor parent sad because they outlived their child. And that's not how it's supposed to be, family. So do whatever you can that's within the law and within good scriptural learning to get them the right information you can. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can, praying, talking, whatever you got to do. You know, whatever you got to do. And if it don't stick, remember how they get them programmed. They spin it over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's how the little children know the songs on the radio. All the nastiness and the garbage they playing on the radio, that the children know the song because of repetition. They spin it over. They know how to hypnotize the children. You got to do the same thing. Turn it off and start hitting them with the repetition, but hitting them with the positive stuff. That's how I go. All right, let's keep it going here. Thank you, Bishop. Byron says, not confident, comfortable. The peanut butter, jelly, bread. Williams, P-Rob once heading toward the season. I know I ain't either, bro. I've seen enough. Bishop says, thank you. Tell my sons all the time, all you got to do is pay attention. That's all you have to do. And paying attention don't cost a dime. Pay attention is free as hell. But the people that's just, you know, they like it the hard head way, I guess. 504 Hot Boy says, Saints' biggest need right now is depth at the cornerback position. Okay, I like that. I say we need a defensive, impactful person, but I ain't mad at that. We could use another cornerback, so I'll ride with you on that 504 Hot Boy. I'll ride with you. Verlin says, no Q. I'm gonna come see you. That's my biggest problem today. People doing things just to get recognition. Your current and former teammates, go see that man. If you have, that's what I'm saying. You gonna pop on Instagram and start crying? Oh man, I can't believe he said that. But you ain't gonna go talk to him about it though. You got his phone. You just got on the team. And I know that man called you or emailed or texted you and say, hey, Jink, Malcolm, welcome back to the team. You got his number, brother. If you don't have his number, I know you can call Coach Payton and say, Coach, you got this man's number? I know you got Coach Payton's number. I know you do. But you get on there and do that, and you think we're going to fall for it? The smart ones? Oh, no, man. No, you know, it don't work like that. You ain't going to manipulate nobody over here. I know who you are. I can see who you are. I can see you. You know, that's why I say I got to keep my eye on him. When we first signed him, I said that because I already knew what time it was. I knew what kind of dude Jenkins is. Come on now. You're not going to play that. You're going to spin that nonsense with me. Some people, you can't fool the people because, man, listen, they've been doing this forever, man. How I'm going to keep falling for something that you did 1,000 times over? You're not doing nothing different. Like I tell the people over and over again. I say, man, we living in a time loop. Don't you understand that? What people are getting mad right now, they got mad about 30 years ago. What people burning down stuff, they were burning down cities 30 years ago. So we living in a time loop and it keep happening over and over again because some kind of which way we not learning the lesson that we need to learn. So the people, the only thing you have to do is be a fan of history and remember what's happening to get past it. It's like, hold on, man, I done seen this before. You keep doing the same stuff all over again and thinking I'm going to get fooled by the same nonsense. They don't work like that. I told y'all that everything happens in cycles of time, just like the seasons change and you know the season's coming. You know sooner or later it's hot right now, it's going to cool down, and then after it cool down, it's going to get cold. It's going to get really cold, and then sooner or later it's going to start warming up. Then it's going to get hot again, and then it's going to recycle over and over and over again. You know it's coming. You know that it ain't going to jump from one to the other. Don't do that. You might have a shorter period, but it's not going to just go boom, it's cold tomorrow and icebergs everywhere. It don't work like that. You know, I'm just saying the history, if you pay attention, 26, the rest of the family is talking about paying attention and remembering this stuff. And I promise you that they can't fool you. The politicians say the same stuff every 4 years to get elected. They say the same thing, change. But they realize that people think in their mind change is a good thing. Not all change is good. They could change your ass into some bad stuff, and that's what they slowly been doing. The politicians ain't taking the people where they supposed to go. You politicians telling the people what they need to do. No, the people supposed to tell the politicians. The strength and power is with the people. Because a politician could be paid off by that man, that $100 billion man, to tell that politician to go and sell his plan over here to them people. You know? He can go and buy them people and tell them, well, they got toxics on that plant right over there. That's an eye distance, no, and pay the people to say that, no, ain't nothing coming from that plant hurt nobody in this neighborhood, even though people dying in the neighborhood of cancer. You see what I'm saying? It cannot come from that dynamic if you allow that to happen. You're asking for your ass to get kicked. And that's where you are in the country right now, where the politicians fighting for the levels of the power, and they lying, they stealing, they doing everything they can to try to keep the truth from getting out. They stole all the goals that was supposed to be put for the nation out of the vaults. They stole it all. They operating with, they ain't even using real money no more. They putting zeros in the computer. They hitting your taxes is rising like the wind. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. They stealing, lying, doing all kind of god awful stuff, and we sit up here talking about red and blue team, and they've been in the league they've been together for over 200 years, and we still doing this? Come on, man. No, absolutely not. All y'all got to go. Get y'all fired. All y'all are fired. We're gonna start all over again, and this time it's gonna be for the people. And we ain't gonna let them separate us and divide us and play politic games. And I know it's some bull crap, because me, you, and everybody else can sit in this chat together, and one dude say he for the red team, another person say he for the blue team, and another person say he for this team, this person say he for over this, that, and third. It don't matter what you look like, where you come from, who you are. We can sit down. If we was in a physical meeting and you was in a big old room and I was talking to y'all and y'all was sitting in front of me, and we sit up there and we having drinks and we cooking, we eating beans, and we buying the ribs, and we watching football, and we listening to stuff. Y'all know we be sitting up in there all having a ball. Don't matter what you look like. We all having fun talking to each other, no matter how old you are, or if you're a lady or you a man or whatever your orientation is. It don't matter. We love you and you're a family. Now, how I can feel that way about you as a Saint player, but when you go into the political world or the other world, I hate your guts. Come on now. That's some bull crap, and I ain't playing with them no more with that. They can keep that. There you go, Boner. That's his name. Thank you for that, Wayne. We've read it. He said Boner. Yes, him. That's what John Bonner, Boner, whatever his name is. That's him. Go look at the pictures. You don't believe me? Go Google Boner and Obama together and see them playing golf together. And you could swear they hated each other. They were playing golf, but they were really close. I'm telling you, it's bull crap. They use that to tear the people up, because that's how you can't handle them. The people together, they got a problem. So they do everything they can to keep the people separated and divided. They use emotional. They pick at our sores. They separate. I keep telling y'all the same stuff. My message don't change, family. I keep telling y'all the same stuff all over again. It's that is allowed to happen. If they got people doing that, they got people in there, you need to throw them in jail. That's what that's the measure. What are you talking about reform for? Reform of what? What you reforming? You just lock up the bad ones. That's what it comes down to. Promote the good ones, to tell the bad ones, look, man, you going to jail. If you got a dirty cop in there and he's selling drugs or selling guns on the street or whatever, your ass is going to jail. Bottom line, because you're violating the law. What you talking about reform? What you need to reform that for? Just promote the good ones to throw the bad ones in jail. And people that's breaking the law, send their ass to jail. That's the bottom line. What reform? Just keep it real. You know, and that's what I'm saying, man. And I'm gonna say this and leave it alone, man, because I'm gonna go back into my talk, man. But the thing is, we've been fighting for laws changes for years, and laws have been changed for years. Laws 30, 60, in the 60s, they had laws changed now, but the thing is, the people enforcing the stuff? Are they? No. So what you keep putting it through if they're not going to enforce it for? I'm just asking the question. What you doing that for? Most of this stuff is on the books already, and them people know that, but they're not telling you that. They're not telling the people that, and they pretending like this, that, and the third, and they got some stuff going on. But I promise you, if you start making an example of these people doing that, then this would all change, because they got some crazy bastards in there, and they need to go to jail. Bottom line, politicians, police, all that, military. I got family members that's police officers, military. They tell me that. Say some you know what, up in there crazy as hell, and they don't have no business being up in there. You and I both know that. Cut it out. But all of a sudden, it's this, that, and the third. Nah, they do all that to break the people up. I keep telling y'all that. And if you don't believe me, go back in your history and look it up. Every 30, 40 years, this is happening. And in proper recession, then you're going to have an economic collapse. You're going to have all this going. It's happening over and over and over again. We've been dealing with pandemics, family, for every 5 years. You've just been oblivious to it. Go back in your mental. Where were you at when SARS was happening? Where were you at when MERS was happening? Where were you at with all this other crap, the Ebola, Streptococcus, and all these man-made biological things they make in the laboratories, but they're lying, telling you they come from apes and animals and shit? Where were you at when that was happening? You were oblivious to it until it came over here. That was what's up, because they were suffering over there with all of this stuff, man. I'm telling you the truth. All this been on the scene, man. It been on the scene, but now all of a sudden it impact you here. Now you know. That's a shame that it had to go that way. But now that you know the truth, use history to fortify what I'm telling you, because I am a fan of history. And history is when you fall asleep at the switch, it's going to happen to you again, and it's going to keep happening to you again, and it's going to keep happening to you again, and it's going to keep happening to you again over and over until you say no. Just like the poor lady that might be in a bad situation with an abusive man. And the abusive man ain't going to one day wake up and say, baby, listen, baby, let me tell you something, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby, for doing you that, baby. I'm sorry, baby, for doing you that for 5 or 10 or whatever it was that he was doing that to you. He ain't gonna wake up and tell you, I'm sorry, baby, and it ain't never gonna happen again. Because most of them people don't have that ability. That woman she gonna have to raise up and grit them one day, or hit them with a pan or a pot or something or whatever. She gonna have to make the change. She gonna have to make the change. You see what I'm saying? That's when it comes down to, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. And when you see that occurring, you got to step up and you got to make it stop. And I'm telling that to all the people out there. I'm not just talking to the black folk. I'm talking to everybody that can hear my voice. I don't care what you look like or where you come from or whatever, man. I'm talking to you, and this is the God honest truth, is that if we don't ever come together with the same mind and focus on the same stuff, we're going to have these issues over and 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 over again. Enough. Okay, let's move on, family. All right, let's keep it going here. Thank you for that. Appreciate that comment there, Bishop. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Rand. We've ready for that comment, bro, because I forgot the man's name. He said now he's a lobbyist for the cannabis legalization. Isn't that something? I told you these people, I'm not going to even get into it. They are phony baloney, man. They're phony. They're phony baloney. They're greedy, disagreeable people that have sold themselves out to them people. They don't have no souls. They done gave them all up for the money. And you didn't have to do that. You don't have to give up your soul for the money, fool. You don't have to do that, because they can't give you something that they don't own. The universe is not owned or controlled by these demons. The Most High gave that to you. And he told you this is for you, and you have to activate it for your favor. Whatever you ask the Most High for, he'll give it to you. But you got to ask right. And them demons are using the universal laws to their benefit. That's what they're doing. It is for you. They cannot give you something that don't belong to them. Family, come on now. That's counterfeit. You know, whatever the demon says is going to be counterfeit. It's a lie. It's counterfeit. It's fake. You know, you can't make a deal with them people because he won't honor it. You know, that's what the demon do. The demon is a liar. You know what the scriptures say about that? You know that. You're a fool if you believe them. You're making deals with them. And they got weak, stupid people that do. But at the end of the day, once they do it, they realize that becomes the conflict, because they realize that it was a lie altogether, but it's too late. But then again, they stupidly believe that they can't go back to the Most High and apologize. Most High will never say to you, you can't come back to me, you mine. They don't even realize that even though they say they sold to the devil, that the devil can't take possession of their soul, because it is not his to possess. It is yours. And it was given to you from the Most High, and you can merely come back from that. And people have done that over and over again. That's the cold-blooded part of the game, that they teach them. Once they go through that door, you can't come back. That is a stinking lie, that you can always go back to the Creator, because a real father would never turn his back on his children. They might wander off to their own stuff, but when they mind right, he'll be sitting there waiting for them to come back. Don't listen to that's truth talk there. That's truth talk, man. Listen, I'm pointing right at you. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's roll this, man. Byron says Jenkins got to stop being CNC. He can stay over there, bro. He can stay. He can keep doing it. Let him keep doing it, bro. Because I want to see what he, you know, if he can really do it. Because he seemed like a smart guy. But let's see. But I know what time it is with Jenkins, man. That's why he took that gig over there. So it's all right. It's cool. All right, let's keep it going. Jonathan says both Angeloni and Alonzo may be healthy if they wear the right size shoulder pads. Jonathan, I'm with you. I've been yelling that for years. I even got on here once showing the shoulder pads. I brought back shoulder pads of Brian Cox. I brought back shoulder pads of Brian Romanowski. I was showing pictures of Ken Norton. Vaughn Johnson, man, you go get you some ones like that, and you will never have no shoulder problems, bro. Come on. And man, how hard them dudes like Ronnie Lott hitting? Ronnie Lott never got up and said, man, my shoulder hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew, man, what they needed to do. Take them quarterback ass shoulder pads off, man. Play with some real shoulder pads. There you go. Thank you, Jonathan. That's right. Vernon says, Q, the definition of crazy is doing the same mess, expecting it. I know, bro. We doing it all over again. Hopefully not. Skid Mark says, hey, Q, my son is going to subscribe. Who that? Thank you, Skid Mark. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. Bishop One Love said, that's why the powers that be are pushing their timetable because the family is waking up. The same old narrative isn't working as it used to because the Most High said for them to wake up. The Most High says time to wake up. You can't, they might manipulate, control, lie, bastardize, and do all they want, but I keep telling you that they don't have no real power. You have the power. It is all based on you. I have not changed that message. And I keep telling y'all that, and I'm trying to put that in y'all head. They don't have no power. It's you. You have all the power. But they have a whole little show that they created to pretend like you're a spectator and that the action is on the stage and that the power's on the stage, and it's not. It resides with you. It's all with you. And when the economy stopped because you wasn't participating because they need your power and your money to run this whole little thing here. Come on now. But then they talk you into wars that you go fight over there and you ain't even supposed to be over there, family. You're not supposed to be over there. And our sons and daughters is going over there. So it's really the corporations over there wanting land for pipelines to run, and they creating scenarios while they're going over there. Come on, let's keep it real, family. Come on now. We got demons up here operating, keeping wars going, man. You know what I'm saying? They got demons operating because the demons feed off the energy and the suffering of humans. That's a well-known fact. They can't survive in a atmosphere of peace and love. They can't survive in that. They got to keep some shit going. They got to keep a war going. That's their real deal, man. I'm telling you. They got to keep separation going. They got to keep this going, that going. They got to keep some frustration going because they can't survive in an atmosphere of peace and love. They can't do that. They'll suffer and die. They got to have an environment of ferocity and disagreeableness and killing and all this. That's why it's all perpetuated. They can't do it. That's why I'm saying if you a person that's for life and love and empowerment, you're going to have a long life. Because you wishing that for the people. And I want everybody out there, like I said, and I shouldn't have to say no matter what color you are, where you come from, but I have to say that because people's mind has been conditioned to think that don't apply to them. That's not the truth. I'm talking to you. And this message is directly for you. If that don't matter who you are, where you come from, I want you to be something. I want you to be whatever you want to be, your most ultimate form. I don't want you to be stunted and ugly and feeling like that you're depressed, that you can't get ahead in life. That's not the truth. As long as you got life in you and health in you, you can achieve anything you want. But it's this, if you're conditioned by forces outside of you, whether it's disagreeable friends or family members who got demons in their head telling them to speak ill and bad to you, let me speak away the disagreeableness and dysfunction from you. Let me speak words of functionality and power to you. And about being a champion in your life and about being somebody that's great. Let me speak words to you if nobody's telling you that. Because we all suffering, a lot of people are suffering their own ways here, and they just need to be elevated and lifted up and told that they're special as well, because you are. There's only one of you. There is no clone of you anywhere circulating. There is only one of you on this planet. You are special and you are unique, and you have great powers in you. And whatever the people that you see as powerful are doing, you could do it too. Don't let you think for a second that you can't do what they do. You can do it, and you can do it better. Remember that. There's no power more greater than you because you have the creator in you. And when you tap into the creator in you, and then you grow and you blossom, you tap into the universe, you gain power and you move forward. That's what my grandma taught us. And that's the truth. No matter what they try to do, you're going to always win. So that's why they spend billions of dollars keeping you stupid and keeping you fighting with each other. We paying the same taxes, getting screwed over by the same miserable, stinking, Luciferianist elite, but we going to sit here and point at the politicians like they the problem. The politicians work for them, man. Come on now. They working for them, man. And when you finally realize that, then this whole thing changed, and then all of the stuff that I kept talking about that's happening every 5 to 30 years, it'll cease. So they trying to expedite it because they know they can't control your mind no more. They can't do it no more because you taking possession of the things that you watching. It's like at one time they can direct you with bread and circus to say, give them football, and distract them while we operate over here. No, it's not working anymore. Now you still watch the football, but you got a grasp on the football where you got it here in your hand like this, and you made it. It made it a servant of you as opposed to you serving it. You have possession of it. You have a control mentality of it. Because here at the Sports Coma and the Great Saint Think Tank, that's what we promote. We promote possession of this. So as long as you're possessing it, it does not possess you. You see? And it's the same everywhere else. And as long as you have that, you can still possess that, possess this, and also have that, possess that. And you'll have that truth. You'll have it. It's keeping it real, family. Go look some of this stuff up. I'm telling you. I'm keeping it real. All right, Jamal said, damn, Q, you made me hungry with beans and ribs. Listen, man, I'm telling you, bro, I like to cook. And I'm keeping it real with your family. I appreciate the Jamal. Rashad says, watch it, Q. Some people may not know about that funk. Play us with the funk and then tell them don't burn the beans. That's right, baby. Don't burn the beans. And turn the funk music on, baby. Turn it on. That's what I'm talking about, babies. All right. And that's beautiful. Thank you, Jamal. Rush Hour. Appreciate it, Rush Hour. Tyra says spiritual contracts. Thank you, baby. Tyra says CSP vision's been off. No one has been told. Thank you, Tyra. Jamal says Reverend Saint sound like the abusive man. No, Reverend Saint. Yeah, Reverend Saint, I can't do that to you. I had to wake up, baby. I was doing. You remember where Reverend Saint came from, family? So Jamal, you already know the story of the Reverend, man. You know remember he woke up, remember he told you and he testified to you, Jamal. He told you, bro. He told you. I said, baby, listen, baby, I can't do that no more, baby. I had to wake up and stop it, baby. You had to wake up, baby. Because, and that's the thing, man. When you dealing with, like, and truth be told, bro, on a serious tip, it's like when you committing disagreeable things, you're doing disagreeable stuff, really the people are doing disagreeable stuff to other people are unhappy people. They're unhappy with their lives and they're causing problems with other people's stuff. And that's a shame because everybody has something or some things in their life or issues in their character that they need to be working on every day to fix. That's truth be told. And unhappy, disagreeable people. And that's how the demons operate through those people, because a fulfilled and satisfied person would never give themselves over to demons to be used. Never. Never. They'll never let them dirty up their temple or get inside their heart, their body, and their mind and be used as a dysfunctional instrument against another sentient human being. Never. But see, we have to take onus of that and understand that we all have work to do at an individual level before we ever get together in a communal level. I'm keeping it real. We have to fix our character flaws and character issues, and then individually, overall, we'll become a better person, and we all automatically run together once we all get that stuff done. But we got a lot of dysfunction that we got to overcome, man, that we've been dealing with for some time. We got to fix it. Thank you for that, bro. All right, let's keep it going. I was Speaker Paul Ryan. No, it wasn't Paul Ryan. It was Boner, the guy I was thinking about there, Rush Hour. Jonathan says you're right about the politician leaders in power. It's like a tape being rewind and played over and over again. Definitely. That's why. And like I said, I've read books and I've quoted these books to you to go and read for yourself that speak about you in a negative light. They call you stupid. They call you dirty. They call you dumb. They call you useless. They call you all that, and they justified in their minds a reason to exterminate you on a mass scale. And it matters not what color you are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to listen one way. You either listen now or listen in the short term when they get it operated. Understand me. I'm not fool. I'm not playing with you. I don't have time to sit up here and tell you something that ain't going to work with you. But that's what demons think. Like they had to justify a reason. But as long as you listen, refute all of that. Kick back against that and don't get down with that. Teach your children, teach your people, talk to them. The ones that won't listen, the rest of them, you just got to give them to the Most High, and they'll wake up at, when it's time for them to wake up. But what I've been known as being a guy that's been up since I was 16 years old. They got a lot of fake woke movements that really still sleeping because they created these little, well, we conscious of this. No, you're not up. I can tell you're not up because you still saying what they saying and you thinking what they saying is up when they leading you astray again. and they direct the narrative. They're very, very clever people, but they're not really that smart because all their stuff is in books. You can go and read it. You can read it here and take them down anytime you want, because that's just, it's just terrible. But they talk so bad about you and they don't care what color you is. They see people overall as dumb and dirty and meant for extermination, even though them suckers was the one responsible for making the people less intelligent by putting fluoride in their water and spraying shit in the air and putting out disease and all this kind of old crap. It's time for your time is up. Your time is up, and you going down for playing with the people, and you're going to pay for what you did to the people, bottom line. You're not going to get away with it. I'm here to tell you that. Yep, and that's the reality. And my awareness is many awareness out there as the people understand that the Most High is real. And the Most High ain't gonna let you play with his people like that. I'm just gonna keep it real with they up. And once they gain the power, you up out of here. Bottom line. Let's keep it going. All right, let's keep it going. Paul says, Reagan said one day we're going to talk to our grandchildren about what I was like to be really free in America. Corporations, family. A lot of people don't look at the corporations. The issue, your problem is not the politicians. The larger problem is the corporations. The corporations working together to combine the worlds all together. It's the corporations. Look at the corporations. They're the ones that buy up all the politicians. They buy up all the doctors. They buy up all the people and make them say what they want to say. It's the corporations is your problem. The corporations, the international ones, they are your problem. Let's keep it going. All right, John says you're right about it. I thank you for that, John. I appreciate you. Bishop says facts. He said, man, you better get Reverend out here. Demi says, good evening, fam. Let's keep brother, sister, our prayer. Thank you, Demi. Demi's always lovely and beautiful with that. Thank you, Demi. Jonathan says, hashtag cardboard box for shoulder pads. Trabal says, Reverend Saint was on his hands and knees saying, baby, please, baby, listen, baby. You know, Paul says, Craig Mack said, get some new flavor for years. Anyway, look, family, man. We done reached 3 hours in this here thing, family, and I wanted to be able to open up the phone lines, family, and I'll have to apologize that I probably won't be able to open up the phone lines tonight. Excuse me, but listen, don't be upset. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise you guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Hold on, let me see if I can give you a report here on what happened today. But listen, tomorrow I'll definitely open up the phone lines. I come at the family a little earlier, perhaps around 4 o'clock-ish. Tomorrow we'll see how it is, and we'll go from there. But before I go, let me give you the day 11 observations, family. Hold on, give me just a second. I'm gonna share my screen, which I just pulled up here. All right, Saturdays, day 11 here. Hold on here, family. Get this damn thing out the way. All right, here we go. Let's go back. All right, day 11 observation. Drew Brees completes a 50-yard pass. How about that? Well, I remember I was sharing that with the family members some time ago about Drew Brees and talking about he works in with his arm during the camp. And I basically was saying that because a lot of people believe just because Drew Brees can't throw a 50-yard pass, throw a 50-yard pass last year that he wasn't going to work on his passes, getting that arm strength together. Well, in practice, they said Drew threw a 50-yard pass in the Superdome, had 11 absent. Let's get in the report. All right, New Orleans Saints returned to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome for an evening practice under the lights, getting their first look at the dome since they played in the building earlier this year in January. Saints coach Payton said he felt that the 1 hour and 45-minute long helmets and shells practice in the dome was beneficial, especially since they won't get any preseason games before week 1 kicks off to September 13 against the Buccaneers. Said, quote, it was a pretty crisp practice, Payton said, of working on several situations and team periods. Participation absent were the Saints players who were not observing. It were several starters. Wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders wasn't there. Safety Saquon Hampton, Chase Hansen, a linebacker, were not present, missing their first practice. Both Hampton and Hansen left practice Friday and went to the training room. Lineman Cesar Ruiz and running back Ty Montgomery missed second practice as they appeared certain injuries have appeared to sustain injuries. So Cesar Ruiz and Montgomery might be dealing with something. Defensive end Marcus Davenport was absent for the 3rd straight day. What does that mean? Rookie linebacker Zach Bourne missed his 4th day of practice. Safety Malcolm Jenkins was out for his 5th day of practice. Elvin Kamara was out again for his 2nd straight day, missing 4 practices in total. It is not known what the reason for the absence. Of course, you heard Sean Payton turn down wanting to volunteer information about that, even though his 2 previous practice was because of a stomach bug. Now, additionally, guards Andrews Pete, who dealing with that broken thumb, and linebacker Anthony Chiquillo, which says undisclosed, missed 11 practices. Chiquillo has missed every practice so far. Back at practice, and some good news after missing Friday practice is Ryan Ramczyk. He came back. And, of course, the new faces, the 3 players that signed on Saturday, were all present at practice. Defensive end TJ Carter wore number 69. Linebacker Winton McManus wore number 59, and defensive end Anthony Lanier II wore number 57, signaling a number change for Bourne. Bourne briefly wore number 53 before the Saints signed Nigel Bradham, but when Bradham was briefly in the fold, Bourne wore number 57 jersey. Now that Bradham has been released, Bourne has reverted back to 53. So just to let a few people know, that's good information right there, that Zach Bourne is going back to number 53. Okay, and Anthony Lanier, one of the guys that just brung on, will be wearing number 57. Of course, the quarterbacks, Breeze, in the 7-on-7 periods, completed his first 3 passes, including hitting wide receiver Michael Thomas for what appeared to be a 50-yard pass. Later during the period, he found Thomas again for a pass that went about 45 yards. Through 7-on-7 drills completed, Breeze completed 6 of 10. During team, Breeze completed 5 of 8, missing on 1 deep pass to Jared Cook that was broken up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the end zone. Other receivers Breeze connected with in the 11-on-11s were Deontay Harris, Tre'Quan Smith, Thomas, and Cook. And the last play of the team drills was a handoff to running back Dwayne Washington. Breeze had 2 passes that were batted down by defensive backs detailed further below, but he bounced back with a touchdown pass to Cook and Smith in the last stretch of practice. Quarterback Taysom Hill completed 2 of 4 during the 7-on-7s, finding Tony Jones Jr. with wide receiver Marcus Callaway. And Hill had 2 series during the team drills, completing both of his passes during the first drive. 1 completion going to tight end Tommy Stevens, the other to wide receiver Jawan Johnson for roughly a 20-yard gain. Okay, but they did see Hill throw a heater to wide receiver Emmanuel Butler that went through the back of the end zone. Quarterback Jameis Winston completed all 3 of his 7-on-7 passes to Jones, Emmanuel Sanders, and Dwayne Washington. During team drills, Winston didn't fare as well, though, throwing at least 3 incomplete passes, though the last of which was dropped by tight end Adam Troutman. Come on, Adam, we don't need you. Turned it into Dan Arnold in this piece. Please, none of that. Okay, with the defense, several defenders stood out during team drills, including cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, P.J. Williams, and Craig Robertson, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, C.D. Deuce. He had a pass breakup, Breeze long attempt to Cook. Then a few plays later, Robinson came in for a sack. And then one on the first pass of Breeze red zone work, he aired one out to Thomas, but Lattimore swatted the ball away. On the next play, Breeze tried to find Smith, but Williams came flying in for the pass breakup. Now, up next, the Saints will not have practice on Sunday. They will resume practice on Monday, and they go back to Airline at the Oshner Sports Performance Center back on Airline Drive. So that is the report. Day 11 report from the Saints, as they had 1 series in the Superdome there, and they went in there and made it happen. So it's very encouraging. That's very encouraging by the team to see them do that as well. And the truth be told is tomorrow, even though the team doesn't practice tomorrow, I will be back tomorrow, and we will open up the phone lines, family, tomorrow for call-in. So I would love for you guys to join us. Then we also have the Madden simulations going on tomorrow as well. I think tomorrow is the Minnesota Vikings. We have like 2 games left of the Madden simulation series season, to be honest with your family. And I know I was going to tell you guys about, was going to get the TSC Fantasy League. I'm still working on that. I've been doing a lot, family. Trust and believe, been working, doing all kinds of stuff. We're working over here. But I promise tomorrow I have all that set up, and I'll give you the information for the family members. So please join us on our Sunday show tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We'll have the Madden simulation, and it will be the Saints versus the Vikings. And then there's 2 more games left before the playoffs start. So the Saints and the Vikings, and then the following week it'll be against, I think, the Panthers to close out the year. and then the playoffs will start. I know Madden 21 came out, but we still got 2 weeks of at least regular season work to finish up. Minnesota and the Saints tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon. Please join us there for the Madden simulations. Been doing that for a while now. Really, a lot of people like that. And of course, later on that afternoon, we'll do TSC. We'll do another Sports Coma, and we'll take calls tomorrow. So if you guys want to join me tomorrow, I promise I'll open up the phone lines, get all y'all calls in there, comments, concerns, questions, all that. So join us tomorrow on the Sports Coma for that, and I'll open up all the lines for the family members to chime in. So I'd like to thank y'all guys for joining me on the show today, as usual. As it's 10:30, it's time to get the Saturday Night Funk on, just to let you know. Anyway, let me run the commercials right here, just to let the family members know that if you want to help this, and you really like what we're doing here at the platform and keeping it real, talking Saint talk, then feel free to join our YouTube membership or go to the pro shops. We have 2 links at the in the description section below, and you can go there and get you some nice gear. Living that Saints life. Let's get another chip or several really nice shirts that we have. Also caps, hats, smartphone cover cases, leggings, socks, fanny packs, little doggy sweaters, all kind of stuff, man. Literally, seriously, hundreds of dozens of products are available at the pro shop. Now, it took us a while, but we finally got a few hats. We also have face coverings and masks and stuff with several different styles and colors. We have them for the ladies, for the fellas, for the babies, for the children, young children. We got gear for everybody. So if you believe in what we're doing and you want to get you some nice gear and get ready for the football season, get ready for Saints season, family. It's coming up real soon. You can go there and get you some Sports Coma gear and some pro gear. And it goes to a great platform to help continue to build and keep it real. Now, here's a couple more shirts to show you that we have. Take It Personal is the shirt right there. One of our new shirts they're wearing for the Saints. We wear them on Saints game day to let people know we're serious about this and we need to take it personal. And that's one of the really great shirts. The other shirt says, Don't Burn the Beans. That's a new shirt that we also have. We're having the tank top and regular ones. Like I said, for the ladies, for the fellas, the men, the babies, all that, man. We got the gear. We got it going on. What can I tell you? There it is. Don't burn the beans. Don't burn the beans. Don't burn the beans. All right, let's keep it going. Pro Radio Family is available in the links below. It's Pro Radio. It's Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. There you can listen to audio versions of The Sports Coma with BQ and the guys, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring Kings Boxing, Tough Tiger Talk, all available in audio formats at Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. Link is in the description section below. We also on iHeartRadio. We on Spotify. We on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. We are in the building. Check it out and subscribe. Finally, we're looking at Patreon. If you like the show, love the show, like what we're doing, and want to get behind it, please feel free to join our Patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Become a patron of the show, and also comes with that membership. Is the fact not only do you get notoriety and mentioned in the links in the scrollers and below my face on the screen, when I appreciate the hell out of all of our patrons, our YouTube members as well. Thank y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. But also joining that show, the TSC, you get to watch the TSC Q&A and interact. That's TSC Q&A Live. We do that every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. It is a locked show we only do for Patreon and YouTube members. You can be a part of that. And as far as the Patreon goes, there's a show that we do called On Q with Big Q, and it covers a lot of what I talk about when I talk about that reel. That's what that show is about. There are currently, I think, about 13 shows that's up there on patreon.com for On Q with Big Q. I think about 13. Got a new one coming at you this week, coming up soon too. So be on the lookout for that, family, who are members as well. So feel free to join patreon.com/the PRO Media Network to get more information. Of course, our sponsor of the Sports Coma today is getlifemask.com, local business, and they're selling masks. So if you're a person, you need a mask, you're an experienced person in age and you need a mask for your family members or whatnot, why not get one stylish? Get you a nice stylish Saints mask, or get you a stylish Pelican mask, get you a nice stylish LSU fan. If you're a fan of any one of these teams, perhaps that might be something that you might be interested in. Go to getlifemask.com, and I got the family to give me a 10% discount to give to you So if you can see, they're M-shaped with the nose clips. They're adjustable, meaning you can take the filter out, put a new filter in. They last up to 3 months with the filter in the mask, and it really helps out. So get Life Mask and breathe easy. 10% off with the code TheSportsComa. So, you know. So I'd like to thank all the family members for joining me today in this episode of the Sports Coma, over 3.5 hours. Once again, tomorrow, like I said, even though the Saints don't practice tomorrow, that's all right. Even though the Saints don't practice tomorrow, I will be here watching the Saints family and talking to the Saints family once again. So feel free to come over to watch us tomorrow, and I will open up the phone lines. We'll cover some Saints topics. Of course, like I said, they're off tomorrow, but we're not off. We'll be representing here, talking Saint talk. So join us tomorrow. We'll open up the phone lines. Let the family members jump in there and spit that game. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for joining me today. Y'all be safe out there. Who dat? And I'll see you later.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big